all good.
We all good. Look, good evening, good evening, good evening.
What's going
Listen, we need,
on?
we are on. Listen, tonight we have again, and every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, we have the lovely Miss Sheena Becton. How are you doing?
I'm all right, Miss Burns. How are you this evening?
I'm grand, dear. I'm grand.
Good.
Listen, wherever you at, click like and share. And let me give a shout out to producer Landon. Yeah, 'cause
Do I need the air horn? Oh,
Yep.
So listen, we got a powerful packed show this evening. And thank you for joining us. But do us a favor. Click like, share, and subscribe. And so wherever you're from, drop where you're from. Hey, got a black.
Got a
Hey,
blast
and here
from that.
we is from Santa Clara, Dallas,
And here we
Texas. And look, I have
is.
not shared it out myself. So I need to be sharing it out myself. Because I think I started, but I stopped. So I was first of all, I hope everybody out there doing okay. I went to see, I want to give a
Yes.
shout out to my little cousin, Michaela Jones, who cleared them hurdles. She is like a little Flo Joe, a little Shakari Richards. So I just call her Amazing Michaela. So
Auntie
she
M
was
from
at her track meet and she
Atlanta.
did her thing. Hey, Auntie M. So
Yeah.
listen, from the ATL. So listen,
Yeah, shop.
support our young people and when they are out and about because I did not. Oh, I did not. So listen, we had a lot going on. We had a lot going on. But it is a great thing to see you and to spend time with each and every one of you. And then to you, Sheena.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a blessing to be here. Hey, Tara. What's going on, girl?
Hey, Tara. Hey. So I know look, my weeks is running together from last week to this week because I have had family in from everywhere. My mother's brother, my uncle. We have been. My family is close, and so we've
Mhm.
had. Keep. Look, only the right people pray for my family. Let's keep it real. Keep
Yeah.
us in your
Hey,
prayers.
Melissa. What's up,
Yeah,
Jasmine? Hey,
yeah. Keep.
girl. Hey, y'all.
So it's hard for me to hear her a little bit.
I was whispering a little bit. Miss
No,
J's
you're
going through
fine.
it. Oh,
No, it's on my end. It is literally on my end. And so hey, Miss J, and hey, Melissa Zarimski. That's a whole lot of last name. It is. So we
yeah.
got. I need. Look, I still ain't sharing this. I am tired. It was like a Sheena said, "Are we still doing the show?" And I was like, "We're doing it." I said, "We're
We
doing it."
both sounded like, yeah,
Who
girl,
both
we gonna do
yawned?
the show, girl. Yeah, we gonna do it.
Well, one thing I appreciate doing a show with you because you make it fun and interesting. Hey, Steph.
What's up, Steph?
Steph's in the house. So I appreciate each and every one of you and your time. Um, and I'm gonna share it out. So listen,
Let me share.
we have had a lot going on. I had some real interesting posts. One specifically to me because tonight's show is what is it about again, Shinny? 'Cause this was your creativity.
Bishops, dancing, and outsiders.
Which is such a great because
Did it
literally
all. Mm-hmm.
that's right. That's right. So literally we've had comments that were on my Facebook page. No, the Bishop Christopher Martin, because we say names, made a post about me, which was a complete lie. Complete. That
Mm-hmm.
I planned and I orchestrated this event. I did not.
Which is a
Um,
lie.
I would have planned a dance I could do. Wouldn't have been boots on the ground. Look, because I just learned the other day, 2 days ago, how to do the crossover. That's all I can do. The 1, 2, 1, 2, front, back, side. That's all I got,
Yeah.
and I can make it
All I
back from
got
the
is the
cross.
fan. That's all I
Oh, I
got.
got
I'm
the
gonna cheer
fan. I
y'all
got the
on
fan.
from the side.
Yeah,
That's me. Okay. I'll make sure y'all have your towel for your sweat. I'll make sure makeup is intact. I'll make sure y'all still cute. I'll make sure that the pictures are cute. Now that I can do.
See, you're gonna make sure everything's cute and appropriately done. See,
I'll make sure
okay,
it's
everybody
cute.
we all got our roles. We all got our
We
role.
do. And I
But
know how
he
to play
made
mine.
this. So he made this post stating that literally the council person in the 6th ward planned this. I orchestrated it, and I did not. So he made this post, and we can go ahead and put the post up, because what I don't want to do is do what the Bishop Christopher Martin did, is lie. So this is his post. I must speak up. This is embarrassing and out of order at every level for a city council member to orchestrate a line dance during a city council meeting. Sir, there was no meeting. It was an hour and a half, and we had to beg those folks to come back to their seat. A city council, A means as in singular for all the people who tried to come on my page to talk crazy, because he then put specifically the 6th ward council person. He did it. He said, to line dance during a city council meeting is ridiculous. To bus people in from Chicago to disrespect our city government is a huge dereliction of duty. Bishop, I got some stuff you need to be mad about, and we have not seen you in council chambers. You stay in your pulpit, and I'll stay in my council chambers. But let me go on. So, dereliction of duty. So much important city business is going on undone because 4 members of our city council have less than a 50% attendance rate. This madness must stop. No, he is a lying bishop. And I mean, y'all can talk to him, let him know. A lie. How are you a man of the cloth and you are a lying bishop, which means you are held to a higher standard? First of all, my attendance is not 50%. So your parishioner, Liddell Lewis, maybe, mine is not. Then he says, city business is being undone. Stop. We finished journaling our agendas. Don't do that. Right now, you are part of the problem, Bishop Christopher Martin, because lying comes out of his mouth like he wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night. That he would dare try to come after a sitting council, an elected official, and as a bishop to lie. Now, this man's supposed to be counseling people. He's supposed to be being your spiritual advisor. Well, how is he going to deal with the spirit of lying? Okay, he needs
He'll
to
figure it
handle that
out.
first.
He'll figure it out. I mean, as the leader or as the spiritual leader of one of the most egregious individuals in council president history, to say that there's a less than 50% attendance rate, sir, where is your data to support that? And what is the rate of support for the resolutions that give you money?
Yeah, and let's speak to that.
What's that rate? Let's speak to that rate. Let's speak to that rate.
Last night he didn't get one that was passed because they wanted to pass this. Yeah, he didn't get one last night because they wanted, and this was our agenda from last night, y'all. I come with my facts. I don't come with my what I think I might know. I come with what I can show.
Agenda, my God.
Yeah. I like to clear up. I'm not going to say misinformation, lies, because sometimes we have to call it what it is. And it's a lie. I come from the old school, and I now realize I am not with the young folks anymore. We were sitting there 10 minutes. They planned the whole family Zoom and sent out the link while we were at the table talking about it. So he had a, wasn't youth artist, reallocation mother and son. He had, because they didn't want to put the names down, which is why we didn't pass it. They wanted us to sign a blank check because they said they wanted to get the organizations first for the youth program. Sir, that's not how that goes. No, what we are supposed to, you give us the organizations, how much money they need so that we know they go there. We don't write you a blank check and then go back and let y'all do what y'all want to do. It's not that. Listen, we don't need those 5 votes anymore because you know what? Y'all continue to be left out. What is the name of his? What's the name? Oh, the reallocation of ARPA funds, youth job training, City of Flint. Second, clean and safe summer. So when they were asked at the council meeting, I was absent at that one. because I had a family emergency. And so at this one, they had stated, asked them, what are the names of the organizations? They didn't have them. They had all of the organizations from the private year that they may not be using. So nothing was specific. And so we are not to do a blank check. Where's Ernst & Young? Jasmine, and probably staying away from Flint and a mess. Brian Drzezinski was really not about that mess. He just was not. And so city council did not pass that because the city has a responsibility, specifically the administration, come with the organizations. So I'm going to have, for example, Big Boys and Big Brother, Big Sister. I'm going to have them for this organization. I'm going to have ABC nonprofit. But what I won't be doing is approving anything with Bishop Christopher Martin, because how is he knows you want to teach him faith. Well, how are you going to teach him faith when all you do is lie?
Lie.
And lie.
He yourself next to liars.
He lied like a rug. He lied like a pothole in the street. He lied.
And we have pothole patrol in Flint now.
That part, he just lies. And he's the bishop. I mean, nothing about that. Can you put that back up? Because I want to quote that. So 3 things. 50% attendance rate is a lie, Bishop Christopher Martin. And your parishioners need to check you on it. And I will be writing a letter to whoever ahead or the highest or over
Bishop
you.
John Drew Sheard.
Say it again.
Bishop John Drew Sheard. Okay,
then I will be writing him a letter, because you shouldn't have a lying bishop in a city that has suffered a water crisis, a pandemic. We have had over 50% of the people move out the city, and now we got a lying bishop, Bishop Christopher Martin, who does not mind letting them roll from the back of his throat to the tip of his tongue to tell lie. So number one, I did not orchestrate it. Number 2, I didn't get them no bus. Just lying. I did not do that. Whatever their itinerary is, I'm watching it just like everybody else.
Right.
Then there was a disclaimer. Jedediah put out the disclaimer once he saw Lion Liddell Lewis. And I was like, what are you sending me? I didn't even ask him. But then the next day when I saw Lion Bishop Christopher Martin's, I understood. Can you keep it up? Because there's 2. I was on number 2. I did not orchestrate it. I did not get a bus. I did not do the line dance. I would have got a line dance I could do. Your girl is still on the hustle. 1, 2, 3 front, 1, 2, 3 back, 1, 2, 3 to the left, to the right. That's all I got. That's all I got. And then when they talk about some business isn't going undone, let's see who is in their seat at roll call. Can we play that clip, please? Bishop, stop lying. Can we play the clip? Now, y'all pay attention to the roll call, because he needs to get familiar with the fact. I think on my thing, I said he needs to bathe himself in the facts.
The time is 5:34 p.m. I am calling this this city council meeting to order and going to take the roll call. Did you call him? I need to do this.
Gladys. Mr. Gladys.
Mr. Alamin is not in. Ms. Lewis is not in. Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Present.
Ms. Burns.
Present.
Ms. Machad is not in. Mr. Pfeiffer.
Present.
Mr. Jarrett.
Present.
You have 4 members present. At this time, I'm going to
4 members present, which meant 4 members were absent. They were absent at the roll call. That is the official Flint City Council. That's not mine. It's not altered. They always say, oh, that's altered. It's not altered. It's not altered. So Bishop Martin owes me a big apology, like that big lie he told. Big,
and
gigantic.
Needs to be as loud as that disrespect.
Right. And the fact that, and I was irritated about that. He's done so many things to me, which are, I'm going to think of a word because it has to be really low. Because he keeps doing stuff. How are you a bishop and attacking people? You have a responsibility as a bishop to love, to bring this community together. You are a blatant big liar. Just a lie. People should be mad at him. Right. I did not bring no bus here. Right. I didn't bring a bus.
Are moving the purse for that, yeah.
Right. I didn't bring the bus. I didn't orchestrate it. I didn't plan it. Had nothing to do with the planning. Absolutely nothing to do with it. I would have picked the dance I could do if we was going to line dance. It was an hour and a half that was in between. And I mean, he felt compelled to support his lying parishioner, Liddell Lewis. Bishop, do better, because even kids don't lie this much. He acting like a lying toddler, just ridiculous. Told all them lies.
Well, speaking of toddler, even in his retort, in his response to Jared Winfrey Carter, which I believe we're coming up with next, he even said, you know, it doesn't matter what you say, you know I'm right. That's such a juvenile response. That's like them taking my ball and I'm going home. I know y'all didn't pick me for kickball because I'm the weakest link, but I'm taking my ball anyway and I'm going home, so no one can play.
So can we put up Jerry Winfrey Carter's? Because she was sizzling.
That was definitely an over the glasses response.
And that was one of them.
That was one of those. Yes. She put some glasses down. Who are you talking to?
Sheena, can you read it? Can you take it?
Absolutely. Bishop. Let me bring it up a little bit. Bishop Christopher Martin. Let's be clear. Before making baseless performative posts about what's happening at Flint City Council meetings, come to a meeting and see it for yourself. Because right now, you're out here loud and wrong. No council member orchestrated a line dance, and no council member bussed in anyone from Chicago. Jedediah Brown and the residents of Dalton, Illinois came on their own to speak truth about unethical behavior and abuse of power, something that Flint residents experience far too often. If you're looking for something to be embarrassed about, let's start with your own church member, Councilwoman Liddell Lewis, also known as Groundhog Wig. Okay. She voted to give her own nonprofit organization, the Service Park Neighborhood Association, $75,000 in ARPA funds. That is a direct conflict of interest, completely unethical, and a blatant violation of the city charter. She attempted to physically fight two men during a city council meeting, causing a complete disruption and violating the decorum expected of an elected official. That behavior was totally inappropriate and unacceptable. She has repeatedly weaponized the police against residents, having people removed from council chambers simply because they voiced concerns or disagreed with her. That's an abuse of power. She disrespected and cussed out a fellow clergyman whose church is right down the street from your house of worship, Cathedral of Faith, not once, but twice, making a complete fool of herself and embarrassing the office she holds, and not to mention embarrassing you as her pastor. She falsely accused a fellow council member of calling her a monkey, a claim that was completely out of context and untrue, and yet you defended her lie, helping to push a false narrative that attempted to paint another council member as a racist. That was reckless, divisive, and wrong. You should be embarrassed by that too. And let's not forget, Councilwoman Lewis orchestrated the chaos and insurrection that happened during the council meeting on October 14, 2024, which endangered everyone in the council chamber. But you weren't embarrassed by that, now were you? The hood surrection didn't bother him, but line dancing all of a sudden was where that's just too far. All right. You want to talk about dereliction of duty? The Special Affairs Committee meeting on April 14th, 2025 was adjourned due to a lack of quorum and because certain council members didn't want to hear from the residents. And while waiting for the council meeting to begin, before and after attempting to call the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. and going into a recess to establish a quorum, residents took a moment to lift the heavy mood and boost morale in the chamber by doing a line dance. Afterward, they took the podium to voice their concerns, as is their right. Again, I want to point out that the line dance did not happen during the meeting. So let me say this again. Attend a council meeting before spreading misinformation. What's truly embarrassing is watching people who don't know the facts get on social media and play the part of concerned citizen all while turning a blind eye to the unethical, chaotic, and dangerous actions of someone they blindly defend. Don't get loud on lies, get informed.
Well, listen,
Agreed.
we need a sound effect for that one. That one was just,
Agreed.
I mean,
Agreed. Agreed. Good evening, all who have just joined. Please, if you are too blessed to be stressed, go ahead and tap that thumbs up while you're coming in. All of my saints and ain'ts, please come on in. Come on into the pod.
so that was really a good read, because what she did was state the facts, because you get so many people around here, and when you got lying bishops, you're gonna get, it's expected you're gonna get a bunch of other liars. And that is the thing. And you have to, JWC wrote that, I think, coming home from St. Louis, because it becomes a point where you're tired and you have to deal with these liars. Because if you don't deal with the liars, and you can block him. I'm not dealing with, I'm not, I'm really not him. It's, I'm not dealing with any garbage. I'm not dealing with it. I got enough on my plate that I'm just not dealing. I'm not dealing with it at all. You know, I'm not. You know, I shared with you, um, you know, what my family is going through, and I think I just told you today. And I'm just not. I'm not here for that. You don't like me, stay off anything that I'm doing. That's just where I'm at. That's really where I'm at. Because this week I can fight a bear, okay? And I mean that one. I truly mean that. The disrespect has been so real with the lies. The disrespect, when I have never disrespected certain people and they lie. JWC spoke to the disrespect and the lies. And she was like, I cannot any longer be silent about it.
Yeah.
And I get what she's saying, because when you tell the truth, people still want to say you lie. I'll be like, how y'all fill up y'all cheeks with lies? Like chipmunks fill them up with nuts, they fill them up with lies. I don't understand.
And they
that.
want all of the evidence in the world to back up a truth, but they will believe no evidence presented to back up a lie.
Right. Look, Jedediah Brown came here he's an advocate. I absolutely, if you come to the city of Flint, I am going to welcome you. I'm going to greet you as I greeted the people. But somewhere in the mix, people get this mixed up with just stuff. He came here. I gave all I got with the line dance. You don't, they're waiting. And then let me say this, the city attorney, I asked her, was she coming back? And I was passing her in the hallway, and she said no. I was told that they weren't coming, as they were hiding in the back. So what council meeting, Bishop Martin? Did you ask your lying parishioner? Did you ask her?
Right.
Liddell Lewis lies for sport. She's disrespectful, condescending, rude, and and divisive. And I can keep going. But he went on, I've never seen a bishop do this.
Right.
I've never seen a self-appointed pastor who didn't, or who ain't a reverend, somebody who didn't even go to theology school. I have never seen any person who is of the cloth claim they love the Lord, who is ordained, do what he did.
Right.
And then not only went on her page, he went on mine. Well, it was about me at first. Then, he did that. He is beyond a messy pastor. And I hear Jedediah was going after, get him, Jed. Get him. Because he keeps so much mess going. He's a problem.
He is. And, unfortunately, that was an open opportunity for him to highlight the residents who did come up to speak. It was only like 10 minutes worth of a line dance. Flint residents that is a moment of respite in their chambers. After
Right.
I've watched meetings for years. I've watched so many people get kicked out.
Yep. Every
And
meeting.
people don't even show every meeting, and people show up and they show up to speak and to have their voices heard, only to be kicked out, have the police weaponized against them, only to be shut up and shut down by people that they elected. And then to have a moment where they can celebrate or at least just be with residents who have gone through something that's very similar to the plight that they are experiencing right now. In Dalton, Illinois, they've experienced their victory. They took the time out of their schedule to come and say, hey, y'all, there is a chance. There's an opportunity. There is a win at the end of this. You all should get together and we should have a moment where you all can just be. For a 10-minute line dance to overshadow all that has happened and occurred over years of subjugation to suppression of your First Amendment rights. People come in there
every meeting.
Every meeting, someone who's clapping, someone who's coughing, someone who just shows up. They're sent out. That place is a place of oppression. I'm sure walking in, the energy in there is probably so heavy without anyone saying a word that it's nauseating. I'm sure walking in is probably just exhausting because you can't feel safe in a place where your tax dollars have paid for you to be vocal and for you to be seen and for you to be heard by your elected representatives. So to have a moment of respite, to just dance and be with people who are celebrating their win, to be with someone who is trying to at least invigorate the residents and re-encourage them to get motivated. Hey, guess what? It doesn't have to end. Yes, it's year 11. And yes, it's been a long time, but guess what? You have people on your side. Let's get the momentum going. Let's pick it back up. Let's go.
So Sheena,
Let's
speak to, because a lot of people don't know why this was symbolic for them. It was symbolic for the people who came from Dalton area. It was Dalton, Illinois, Chicago, Harvey, Illinois, Forest, Country Club Hills, Flossmoor. And so they came, Thornton Township. Let people know, because some people they were underneath Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Can you briefly tell them about that?
Well, to start, being a Southerner, specifically in South Carolina, line dancing and just dancing, period, is a cultural and historical aspect of us as Black people that just frame it speaks to a jovial nature. We will dance in sadness, at funerals, even in the celebratory moment of someone passing on to the next life. It doesn't have to be literal or figurative, but in this case, dancing and line dancing can just be a moment of just being able to release. We are people of the earth. Black folks are so connected to this universe and how we speak from our souls. When it comes to a beat, we're on it. It don't matter what the beat is, we're gonna find the rhythm and we own it. So for them, this was a moment to be able to, even though they don't know anybody from Dothan, even though they probably had never seen Jedediah a day in their life. But for them, it was symbolic to be able to just have a moment to just be and to have a moment to get together for this line dance. Yes, it was created, and yes, it could be a trend or whatever you want to call it. But these are trends that are rooted in how we as Black people, specifically Black Americans, deal with oppression.
Right. And it's always been that way.
So it's always been that way.
So what they have had in the group of individuals, Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard in Dalton, Illinois, her tactics were identical to some of the things that have happened here in Flint.
Absolutely. I've often joked that when he joked, but I feel like they operated from the same playbook. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and they do. So Dalton, Illinois, and Thornton Township, Illinois, both voted her out because they were tired of what was going on. They were tired of being oppressed. They were being thrown out. She literally came dressed as Nino Brown with a fake pit bull and was going roof, roof, roof with the dog. I mean, you can't make this up. She gave her boyfriend a job at over $100,000. There was so much stuff. I hate to use the word ghetto, but it was so much ghetto fabulous stuff that was really going
It was
on.
Blue Shadow. It was Blue Shadow.
It was sad, and so these people were, and let me tell you, there was a lady I remember, because this was 3 years ago I started watching this, because I used to live in Country Club Hills, and so I still have friends there and relatives. And so they're like, girl, you need to watch this. And it was on YouTube, and some of the YouTubers and the news, Chicago actually has investigative reporters, and they were investigating her. She was taking money and using it for campaigning, putting her name up on billboards, putting her name up on different signs. She had they said a fake cancer thing where she was taking city money, putting the city money into her own cancer nonprofit. Does that sound familiar? That you have an elected official putting money and voting to put it in their own nonprofit. But she was investigated by the FBI. I don't know where that's at though right now. But she was investigated by that. They brought in the former mayor of Chicago to investigate her. Oh God, what is her name now?
Lori Lightfoot.
Lori Lightfoot, yes. And she investigated all kinds of things that were going on. And so for them to say, we're going to get on the bus, we're going to come and support Flint, there's always a space and place on here where you can call somebody up and say, hey, let me sit and talk to you, or let me talk to you over the phone before you make lies. And Bishop Christopher Martin is a liar. I mean, I would have planned a line dance in the place where we could really party if I'm a plan one. But to put that out there was terrible. And then he wants, and he hasn't flinched. So I did get some people on my Facebook, and I did tell, because Missionary Tiffany Quinn was going back and forth. I will not go back and forth with you on my Facebook page when you hold a place in this community. Now she called when I was on my way out the door. And I called her back today and left the message. Don't come on. Did you check him on his page? And she didn't.
Of course not. Of
He
course not.
lied first. You check him for like. Do not come on my page to check me when he made up a whole lie. I orchestrated. I brought Jed. And I think we had the disclaimer. I'll have to send it back to you. I don't even know what the disclaimer for, because I'm dealing with real issues with my family, and I'm really not in the mood. I will fight a bear right now. And so when you come for me, then it's going to be a problem right now, because my patients are low. They're very low.
And I can see that. And I'm going to have to tell you, shout out to Miss Billy Dantzler, who showed up and showed out.
Billy, thank you. Because I hadn't even read it. I had not even read it. So a lot of people know, and I'm going to say, my mom is getting older, and so she's facing some very serious challenges, and she's had several strokes. Her oldest brother is really sick. And so I'm going to be with my family. And I did need Bishop Christopher Martin's nonsense, because literally Sunday, he couldn't even get out the bed. So the family would rotate in and out of the bedroom. And his bedroom was probably like 25 by 30. It's a huge bedroom, him and my aunt. And that's where we talk about the family cabin that we go to. There's a cabin that's on the property where Liddell says she never went, but they came and told she was. And so we were there. So we would rotate in and out of the bedroom. Not enough seating, in there, and there's plenty of seating. I take that back, because then the floor, we just to be close to him is what we were doing. And then you get a lion ass bishop, and I mean it, who gets on and makes all these lies. If you had a problem with the line dancing, all of them who made them comments, my number is on what's the name? If my stalker who calls every day can reach me, then y'all can go YouTube me, go to the city council. I am reachable. I just answered my phone right now when somebody called and told her I'd have to call her back. And so but where the pastors who checked him? Who checked him for lying? Where is his other clergy friends who checked him?
Nobody.
Because they should have checked him.
What I find interesting is that they find your number and all of a sudden know how to get in contact with you after they've been roasted online for everybody to see. All of a
Well,
sudden now we need to have a
I put
private
my number
conversation.
online. I put my number online. I made it
All of a
real
sudden
easy.
we want a private conversation. But Mark
Yeah.
Hutchison in the comment made a very good point. The community needs to have a meeting with the Kojic Church. Bishop Mason and Bishop Patterson are long gone, and Bishop Blake Martin is the norm now, unfortunately, which is very true. Bishop Patterson is actually was a close member of our family. He actually eulogized my grandfather. So the Kojic Church's presence in Memphis was prolific. As of now, they have now chosen St. Louis as their base for convocation, but that is actually very true. Bishop John Drew Shears, who is now the head of the Kojic Church, does need to probably reconsider what is going on within the Kojic Church, where bishops and those who are leaders within the Kojic Church are speaking in this egregious manner that's turning away so many people.
So for those who don't know what Kojic is, it is Church of God in Christ. And some people on here may not. And so that's what is Church of God in Christ. And it is turning away people. Because if you got a lying bishop, I mean, everybody want to be a bishop. How everybody, they bypass being a pastor, a reverend, everybody, they want to be a bishop. Everybody, it used to be.
There are no levels now.
No. No, and I get it. No, I'm not a title person. I've never cared about a title because on your check, do you get a title check? No, titles have never impressed me. A person's heart and what they do in the community absolutely impresses me.
Right.
Absolutely impresses me. And so I think that we have to stop looking at some of the things. Well, with the prosperity preaching, you get the titles, and we have. To me, I always tell the story about my Uncle Ollie. Drove a LeSabre, and he was a Reverend Ollie Pounds, and we had to, very basic. You could take a bath in the bathtub, but we had to get our water in the mountains, literally in a glass jug with the handle on it. And I learned things as a little girl. And that's why I am present in the young people in my life, because I had older people in my family and friends who were very present in my life. I make sure I'm present for them, even beyond my children. It's not just, it's my little cousins. Like I left a track meet today to go see amazing Michaela, whoop that butt in that race and running them hurdles, because I want her to know she was supported too, and to support these young people. But I'm disappointed that nobody in the clergy told him, if we got almost 400 churches, ain't nobody called and told him, why would you talk about the council? You can't take care of your own church. Okay? You a lying bishop in the pulpit lying.
400
repeatedly
churches.
And going after 2 council members. You don't have to like me, Christopher Martin, because I ain't never liked you, actually. But I didn't talk about you. I never liked him.
Yeah.
And I told Mayor Sheldon Neely that. And when he snuggled underneath Mayor Neely, coming from the mayor's office, we were going across to the payments where you go pay your water bills and everything. He walked in the door because he used to be very close to Mayor Karen Weaver. As we walked across, he was walking in the front door. He said, hey, Mayor, I want to talk to you. All that, is in the past. I want to see, Mayor, what I can do for you, Mayor. How we can work together. I mean, if you were that close every Saturday, he was on with Mayor Weaver, and you jump ship like that. I literally said to Mayor Neely then, and I think I saw Pastor Martez Warren when he did that, because it wasn't disrespect. I never liked him because I watched how he moved, and you could see his spirit. And when he did this, when we were walking across, and Sheldon was right here in front, or to my left, and I was on the right, and we listening to him. Sheldon was like, "Well, that's that's what they do. That's what they do," because Sheldon was just in as mayor, and he was people started coming to him, and so we walked across. We had to go over some stuff in the water service center, and he said, "That's what they do." And I literally said, "He's not shit." Because you took an entire friendship and him kissing up, he threw Mayor Weaver underneath the bus in her administration.
Wow.
Every Saturday he talked about Mayor Neely. Every Saturday he talked about Mayor Neely.
Wow.
Soon as Mayor Weaver lost the race, he was riding the coat tips of Mayor Neely. Soon as he won, I said, unbelievable. But
wow.
that's who you have at that table. But I think when we talk about, and we go back to, how does Flint heal, and what does it take when we deal with people, outsiders coming in? I don't necessarily, I don't know what we're all implants. We were talking about North Carolina, and you and I talked. My uncle and them were saying, what some people are, oh, we getting all these people here. I'm like, y'all not from there. That's not where y'all were born.
No one. I've yet to meet anyone from Charlotte here. I can count on one hand. My neighbors across the street from Texas, next door is Connecticut, right here Boston, New York, New York and New Hampshire. I don't know anyone from here. It's a city of transplants.
Yeah.
And look what has happened since all these people who were not from here have come into the Charlotte area. The growth has been crazy, and it's been influential, and it's been beneficial for the area. But no one here is from here.
And let me say this to Pastor Martez Warren. I know he was on here. Sorry, I cuss, but I do cuss. So I mean, that's what I told the mayor at the time. So I did say it. So
and I see St. Mark Baptist Church of Flint is here too.
Look, Pastor Thompson. I asked Pastor Thompson for. I'm like, go ahead.
Thank you for joining in.
Oh yeah, you can, and you can put because I appreciate it. Takes a lot to come on here if you're with your church, or to come on here, and I am for the most part respectful 85% of the time, but and always to a pastor, except for when it just go and just lie. I'm not, because then you have abused your calling and your title, and he has abused his position. You don't demand my respect when you lie on me. Respect me. You lied on an elected official too. Because me and
you
Jerry,
are not above reproach.
Right, Jerry danced more than me. Jerry will pop a girl. And why is our culture wrong? Why is it wrong that if you like to move around and you want to celebrate, because we know who stole our culture?
Yeah.
So come on.
Right, and JWC was in the front. She wasn't even doing the dance with them. She was actually on her groove on her own. They were doing the line dance behind her. She was all,
it was a line dance.
All in her own little group. I said, all right, JWC.
And listen, look, y'all, Shop Black, Comic Book Store. This is my hoodie. And Culture's the end is for the culture. It's my sweatshirt. And so Comic Book Store is owned by Dorian in Egypt. I believe it's on 2nd Street downtown. It is a Black-owned business. Support Comic Book Stores. I told you I'd be buying their hoodies because it's always something that's dope. Not like we sell dope.
You know what else is downtown?
What?
That I do know of? Hendrix Studios. Hendrix Studios. You can tip our producer. $ Hendrix Studios.
And listen, as we go on over, please be kind and tip our producer Hendrix Studios, because he does it cannot be done without him. It's not in the scroll at the bottom. Oh, yeah, it is at the bottom. Producer Cash App $ Hendrix Studios. So I think that, thank you, Pastor Warren, for not being offended. And you can call me. I'd love to talk to you. I would. So I think that when we talk about how do we heal, is not only just the Black people, because in our community, I think we have to figure Flint is unique and very vulnerable right now. We're very vulnerable. And so
Right.
how do we mend it together with truth? Because now we got to add in there. That's the expectation that we would think. And we have went through so much, and what I have learned, I've always said back in the day that when I graduated from high school, you had a few, I think Carol threw in another one, but you had a few opportunities. If your parents could send you to college, which there, really wasn't a whole bunch because the shops had started, the plants had started to laying off. You could go to college or you can go to the military or you could be a drug dealer. And that was really jumping off back then. And so I've seen so many people who once where I'll talk to them and say, you know what, I'm here to fix my community now. God has changed my life. And I have a change. And I hear this a lot, a lot. And it was really so many at that time because our parents made such good money and good benefits, but you could not, they were only hiring if you like your parent, you were lucky to get in. And there weren't that many lucky people. And so when everybody else can change their life, I give people opportunities. But this man just always got something off brand to say about me. Off brand. So
I've never heard anything positive come from
yeah.
this person or about him, to be honest. And I'm not even from there. My attendance record via YouTube is on par. I am in attendance at every meeting via YouTube, front row. I share snacks with my other YouTube friends quite often during council meetings. So it was just, it's very off-putting to see once again a leader of the church just go off
Put the name
rails
Bishop.
for no reason. Bishop.
I mean, it's not even like you
Yes,
serve.
it is Mr. Steen. Hey, girl.
You can serve God wherever, because I do it in my car. And y'all, I think I sing pretty good in my car, in the shower. Okay. Now, why is he over here laughing? Y'all know
Yeah.
I'm still bitter. But look, Blackwell AME Zion Church didn't let me sing in the kids' choir, the solo. I want to do the solo. Let me quit. But it's funny because it ain't funny. When we were at the Bishop Trotter spoke at St. Mark, I would love to see more pastors um, supporting Pastor Thompson because he's feeding the community. When do we help and support our brethren? When do we do that? Because I'm telling you, my uncle, Reverend Uncle Ali Pounds, was just a common man, stood about 6'3". His father was a politician, first Black politician in their town during Reconstruction. And so he was just a mild man, but he would pick up people. That's why I say I want my reverend or pastor to drive a LeSabre. But I mean, we're a little bit better now, for folks. But he did. He was a humble man. When do we start being humble and gracious and listening? I remember when my grandfather died, a Reverend Pryor, Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. My grandmother's last name was Pryor. She was the first cousin to Reverend Pryor. But when my grandfather died, Pastor Randolph came over, and it was God, 1977, 78, 78. And it was just a treatment because we treated Black people the same. We treated each other. We were taught and raised. There was a support system that was there. When we had funerals, I remember from three sisters, I had a little plum colored tweed coat on, okay? With a little plum colored dress with my little patent leather shoes, But we taught our kids how to behave. And we each person had a spot. You didn't have children sitting next to you all in your conversation. Girl, is that right?
Sure didn't.
You would get, listen, beat up, basically.
The children are to be seen and not heard. Y'all need to be over there. Yes.
That make you wait all day to get a whooping. I'm gonna tell your granddad. I'm gonna tell your dad. You'll be waiting all long to get a whooping. And that was the punishment right there. But I knew my granddaddy wasn't gonna whoop me. He would be like, "You can't do that no more. Like put the little dial in the bathtub and wet up the floor. When my grandmother told me not to, I'm like, she wants to go swimming. Look, I had a black Barbie. That was a hot thing back then, okay? She wanted to go swimming. But I think that as we talk, we have to be more open. Pastor Thompson should have the clergy supporting him because he feeds hundreds of people. The clergy has got to get it together so that the residents, because you got your congregation. So if you have a bishop lying and preaching division, what do you think the city's going to be? And he's on stage and he's on video.
This is true. Because so many are still regarding them as leaders of the community. We still have that old community feel of we're looking for the church to still lead us.
Yeah.
We're looking for that wisdom. We're looking for that love that comes from a leadership that comes from Christ, then whoever is called, then to us. And so to see that these leaders are not in a cohesive manner at the very least, back and leading the community in a prosperous and righteous way, it's one of the reasons
not
why
working now.
It's not.
It's not working,
especially in a community like Flint that is so fragile, so complex, and there is a rebuilding that's happening, and these are like the growing pains, but it's also just this is not needed whatsoever. Hey, Miss Jerry Winfrey Carter.
Okay. So I do want to say this. I specifically chose to do a show with you because I don't want, when I have traveled and lived, look, Chicago, you can't tell me nothing about the Chi now. I lived there, worked there, business there. And I want people to see things differently, that we're not all alike. You're not an outsider. If you black in America. You're not just black inside of Flint. You're not black inside of the county line, the city line, or the state line. You are black in America.
Wherever I go, I'm black.
Absolutely. I'm black. And they're going to treat me. I check the black box. And so when we talk about, I specifically, because I want to have conversations that are with intelligent people who see things differently. And you're way younger than me. I could have been a teenage mom. Literally. I could have been a teenage mom. She's like the last black housewife I have seen, a real one. She is. She is. That's like a diamond. She is a black housewife. Her husband's got jokes too. He's funny. Yeah, and I have never met Sheena in person, but way she talks, and I used to read her writings. I'm like, oh my God, because she poured herself into. I'm like, is she a journalist? Is she a writer? I'm like, okay, and it's just how it flowed. And so I watched your writings, and you watched Flint City Council, things in Flint. She educated herself because I guess it caught your eye or your interest.
It was very similar to some of the things that we've gone through in Memphis, watching the transformation of what is now Harbor Town, which was a portion of North Memphis that was the projects. These were areas that we watched transform through the years. Anybody from Memphis can tell you this was a long time ago. But living in different cities also gives you that purview where you can see the parallels and how these things operate and how it works. When I lived in St. Louis, there were things that were very Delmar Loop is where you can see where infrastructure impacts Black neighborhoods. Delmar Loop is where the interstate pretty much cut through Black neighborhoods. On one side of the interstate, you have concrete buildings, industry, manufacturing, whatever. And on the other side of the interstate, you have the beautiful full-grown trees and beautiful homes, architecture, the zoo, which is probably one of the top, if it's not the number one zoo in America, it's definitely top 3, not number 3. So you can see and you live through these
So that
experiences,
was
and it's
eminent
like,
domain
okay,
for people who don't know.
yes,
Eminent
yes.
domain. Every Black city where there's a highway or interstate, it went through a Black city because they
Pretty
felt that
much.
Black people were so easily displaced. And look, Flint had the same thing through 475, St. John area. So, but I
And these were
appreciate,
parallels. Yeah.
yeah. And so I mean, and I like different things. I don't want anything to be alike for me because we miss out and we can learn from each other. But I want to
Right.
switch to the op-ed. 810 Flint gave a op-ed and y'all be patient because we just talked about it. And with the open mind, maybe with a little side eye, but keep an open mind when you and listen, hey JWC, look, JWC, you told that right up. You did it. You did it. JWC said, I lived in the Shy for 8 years. See, that's why she can write like that, y'all. Because she the daughter of Shirley and Charles Winfrey. That's why she can write, yeah. Listen. So, I'm gonna let you take the lead. Sheena, this is yours. Can you? I'm gonna call Miss what's her name back. Can you do my camera? Can I do it from here? Yeah, for just a second. While she's doing this, I need to call. This is a senior citizen calling me back. I need to take her call.
So with 810 Flint's op-ed, if you're not familiar, 810 Flint is a Facebook page where he recently launched his Substack. I do appreciate his viewpoints and where he comes from as far as reposting and reiterating things that are happening in Flint. He made a post that was controversial to some, but as an outsider, there were points and there were very many points, I will say that I felt spoke to me as an outsider, but also I think I can see where residents have a huge gap in understanding where outsiders come from. He spoke basically about how the outsiders, or no, sorry, the line dancing and what was occurring in the chambers, albeit was a fine representation of, again, I am all for Flint residents having that moment of respite. If anything, they deserved it. Like I said before, these residents have been kicked out of chambers many times before. Residents will show up, speak their voice, and get put out, coughing, clapping, getting up, just speaking across the room or whatever to anyone. And even just in them paying attention to people who they are gunning for, literally and figuratively, because if you're weaponizing the police against people and you want them gone, to me, you're placing them in harm's way. So when this moment of line dancing occurred and there was so much that was hurled against it, I also think that the message that 810 Flint was trying to convey was what next. While it is fine, I totally agree that they should have this moment of respite, fun, just being able to be in the chambers that your tax dollars paid for. That is absolutely fine. But I think what the writer was trying to convey was also what else is planned after this. And I think many, and there was Taylor Sampson, I love her, and she wrote a very beautiful post in response to it, and she was absolutely correct. I just want to piggyback off of that and say, I really think that it's important that Flint residents remember that there has to be a plan of action that we always see through. And the continuity of these actions, they have to be consistent. It's not that outsiders are there to ridicule and criticize every little motion that's made. I think because there are many of us who have seen this happen so many times throughout cities across America, and those of us who have actually lived through it, those of us who have studied it, those of us who have seen what happens when government takes over certain entities, that I totally agree with the fact that Flint residents deserve 10 minutes of just being able to be in their chambers and be okay. I think the overall message that he was trying to convey was what comes next. What do we do next? What is the plan next? How can the residents also come forward and be able to continue to push forward a narrative and an agenda that keeps the residents in this jovial and extremely motivated mood? You know, you had Dalton residents who came through, who had come through and taken the time off, that came and were able, these are people that they never met before. And to be able to dap it up with people who had always or who'd already been through what Flint has been through, and to be able to speak to their own victory in Dalton and bring that encouragement to Flint was very much so needed in a 10-minute span that was a line dance. I think what was missed was, again, what's the strategy? And what does strategy look like for Flint residents? What does motivation look like for Flint residents? What is it that can be done to motivate Flint residents who have been going through over a decade? We're going into year 11. Over a decade of misappropriation of funds, unanswered questions about water settlement funds. How long have we been waiting to hear anything? Like, I think that they go to court for it in January, and that's just to discuss. Like, I don't even think that's even about disbursement. That's about just a discussion. So I think the gist of what he was trying to convey was, what do we do next? This is great. This is beautiful. I love that they were able to be able to get together with people who have already gone through this, and they saw a victory, they saw a W, they saw their win. But we've watched Flint take so many L's and continue to. So what would motivate residents to continue with that momentum? And then, not to mention, there were people who did go up to the mic and speak. Carl Lewis is one. I believe Lottie was one person who did go up there and speak, and they gave heartfelt gratitude to those who showed up. They gave their hearts to those who did listen. These are people who, for the first time, were able to speak without any kind of oppressive person behind them telling them to sit down, shut up, you out, that's your warning, get out. Okay, well, on your way out of the door, do X, Y, and Z, and be condescending in their notions. So I think that understanding to an extent that there is an objectivity to how outsiders address things. Could it probably be worded in a way that's more palatable for those receiving it? Maybe. But I really think that the gist of what he was trying to give or communicate to people was, great. We have this line dance. We have the momentum. We see the encouragement. We see those who are holding hands in one with people who are still going through all of this. That's beautiful. But now we need to see what strategy can we do? What strategy is in place to maintain this momentum? And I really think that was a missed message. Mark, I think, said something. I love Mark Hutchinson's feedback. You can always get attention by criticizing Black people doing Black things. It's a shame. It's Black people criticizing. I don't think it was necessarily criticism. I think it was more of pointing out, hey, here's what's happening, and then what can we do after this? I think more than one thing can be true. I think duality and thought was missing from that portion of the conversation. I don't think it's necessarily, it's not criticizing at all. I actually appreciate the fact that I can't speak for him, but I can speak for me.
I think that
I appreciate the fact that people were there.
I think it provoked thought too. I think it provoked thought that we need to look deeper, that there's many layers to Flint's problem, not just one thing. But I think that when we look at it, was an opinion. It was his opinion. Didn't have to be necessarily this is it, this is the law. It was his opinion from his lens that he saw. It was his opinion.
Right.
And
he's coming from California. He's coming from a mindset of people who will show up they will go on their lunch break outside of their building and tell everybody to go to hell, and then walk back into their same building and continue to work.
Right. And that is absolutely from his lens. And then in Flint, some of them ain't got a job to walk off of because GM left. And I think that's where people kind of I appreciated op-ed because I literally I took my business to Chicago because I couldn't get enough business here. And I did it there because you couldn't, it's just not. Flint is so difficult. It's difficult because of what it's faced. Now there is hope for Flint when we talk about Ashley Capital coming with the 2 of 10 buildings will be breaking ground. And hopefully that it will spill from the new Mundy Township $55 billion project that's Genesee County, but that it will spill over into Flint. So as we change things, and I think this is where we have to have discussions. And when we have discussions about it, people can be heard at the table. And I hate to say table, but I guess that's what it is. It's just you can be heard at the table. But each place when we talk about the different things and what people face, Flint is different. You still can't drink water from the tap. You can't. Not without a filter. I mean, you can, but I don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, because it has, you have to have a filter. And our water is high. Our water rates are going to eventually go up. Our trash, we're going to get a special tax assessment for our trash because we took $2 million from the trash. That's going to be next year. Took $2 million to balance it for 2 years. So next year, we are going to have to pay a special tax assessment. I'm going to have to find that video clip because it was a conversation I was having with Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, when people say, "Oh, he doesn't know nothing," no, he know. It's just that when he may have to be careful what he's saying, he try to hold it back, and his mind don't work like that. So when he's been told, "Don't you talk about that," and he like, "Well, how do I not talk about that?" Because it's numbers. It's not a Webster's dictionary. Numbers are what they are, and so I think that. We have to, you have an outside lens and I have an upfront view. And from your lens from outside, then you see it a little differently. And I hope one day you can come to see Flint because when people come here, they see it differently. And along with over at 8110 Flint. I appreciate a big shout out to 810 Flint because some of the work that they do, I appreciate the work that they do. I appreciate the work that he does because he takes time to do it. And I like that. I like what he does because he's taken an interest to basically put into a video and written history of events that have happened to Flint or that Flint is going through. And I appreciate that because they're very factual. I'm going to say, I think he only had to do one thing he had to do a recourse on. But 95% of the time or 99% of the time, his stuff is really good. And so for that, I appreciate what he does because he is literally, putting Flint's history in a chronological order in the form of a video. And then
it's like a digital archive. I love it.
That's it, a digital archive. Because look, them meetings, y'all, that one time was it 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning? I don't know, but somebody needed to get her a Snickers bar because it was cutting up. So
Mark, his mind don't work like that. You can drop it like that, Mr. Moore. Mark.
Mr. Moore, my boy, I'm telling you, when you talk to him one-on-one, Mark, and I do, this man has got a very extensive resume. And when you talk to him one-on-one, I don't know if he gets nervous when he get up there or not, because when he gets up there, I can't understand what he's saying. That's why you'll see me get up from my seat and go talk to him because he gets nervous and his words start to mumble. But when I talk to him one-on-one, he's very clear. He is. I'm not gonna take nothing from him, but I know people get test fright. Nowadays I got flying Delta Airlines. They got too much happening on.
So he just doesn't lie very well.
He does no, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. We'll just leave it at that. See, there you go, Mark. He doesn't lie.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Not at all.
We're
And so
Ooh,
I
yes.
will give him the grace, because when I'm talking to him one-on-one, it's completely different. You get him up there, you can't I mean, none of us can understand him. And he gets nervous. He gets nervous. Just like, you may have the knowledge in your head, just like say, when you take a test. What is it called? Test?
Anxiety, test taking anxiety.
Text, right. And you may
Mm-hmm.
know it, but you cannot do it because the test, when it's time, you have anxiety. He gets that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he is a very smart man. I'm not just saying that. I'm just telling you. And I know people who have gotten test anxiety when going to school, because they would have to have someone who would help them. So, but that's why I tell them now, can you bring up Paul B with you? And he's the deputy. So he gets an anxiety. And I'm telling you, it's not easy working for an administration who you are told to do certain things and your job may be on the line. It's not easy. I remember having Joyce McLean, who was the purchasing manager, being so scared about her job. So scared. And I remember her sitting down, dropping her laptop 2 or 3 times. And she was just she was so nervous. Suzanne Wilcox, that was another one. Suzanne Wilcox was worried about her job, and she would call me on my cell phone and be like, well, did he say anything? Am I going to get fired? And, this is the threat that some of these people have worked underneath. And that's just what it is. Because they didn't fire all the talent. They're just gone. Just gone. So, so one thing I want to say, as we look at it, I'm looking at people, I came across a video, a clip of Councilman Mays, because some of these folks, they make you really wonder. And so he had, Mays was a different type of fella. He was gonna say what was on his mind.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh,
now I don't know what was on. He was. Now he come up with some stuff, and me and Jerry would be like, well, "How you come up with that?" But it's funny. So you got the one that I sent that one to you, the handkerchief head Negro. Oh, I thought I sent that one to you.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Oh, this one was good. I thought I sent that to you because it was what? Look, why does my phone not cooperate? Play your what? Whenever you get a good message, I got a microphone. Well, God, look, my family's still sitting. Look, they all full of love. I'm trying to. Everybody just made it back to town. Look, there's a lot of love.
Good.
Look, I hate group chats. Why did they put me in the family group chat? I hate group chats. Deacon AC Dumas, if you watching, I hate group chats. Deacon AC Dumas, I hate group chats. But he'll send me a group chat sometimes. I receive one in a while. But I thought I said, I hope I didn't.
Speaking of chats, for those of you who just joined in, if you are too blessed to be stressed, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow the page, tip our producer, take care of business. Who else is here? Christine Leach, hey lady.
Look, they got me a microphone. I'm have been and sung the song that I couldn't sing. Listen, they wouldn't let me sing. When John was preaching at the Pentecost, to walk in Jerusalem, just like John. Oh, he was filled with the Holy Ghost. We waiting on him to load this up. Wait a minute. They told me, Dink Sosa, I'm gonna get you. He gonna say Tonya Burns was acting like she was at the club where Bishop Trotter was there. Listen, it said, Jesus will work it out. Jesus will work it out. I tried and I tried. I was like, look, not my jam.
Yeah. Look, Stephanie said first. I didn't say anything.
What did she say?
Not your
I got
ministry, ma'am.
to go to the mayor's office.
Stephanie said it's not your. Michelle said not to stop your day job.
Michelle, look, we've been friends since we were 4. When we were on a dirt road, we had one house in between us. Okay.
She would know more than anybody. She said to not quit your good day job.
Listen, let me look. Jesus will work it out. I was like, and then tell me some Tonya act like she was at the club. Listen, I'm a praise the Lord. I cannot party more at the club than I do at the church, giving God his praise. I was giving all the praise to the Lord as we worship, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, there goes our guy.
Look, oh.
Huh? Yep, let's play it.
We want to know, how would you define a handkerchief head Negro?
Google it. Let me help you. I can define it, but I might not be accurate.
We want to know your definition.
It's a black person who, in my opinion, bent over backwards to try to cloak and do for white folks. That's what a handkerchief is. They'll turn their back on right and wrong, me and you, to get in with some white folks. In this case, our council got 9 members. 5 of them is black. 6 of them now is black because we just appointed one. So you got 2 of them think they can count better than I can. And so you got 3 whites who want to be chairperson, president, finance chair, and they wouldn't wait their turn. So they jumped ship with us blacks and teamed up with the whites. And they got all the little positions and chairmanships and don't know really what they're doing yet. And so not only did they team up with a mayor when we call a point of order or point of information legitimate group, they rule us consistently out of order. And they apply the rules differently and wrong. And so we're going to all end up in federal court, and we're going to see who wins. Regular folks, a handkerchief head, Negroes, and some other folks. I would put my money on regular folks. So this one handkerchief head, he boycotted, protested with signs to NAACP Freedom Fund. Now, what type of guy is that?
A handkerchief head Negro.
I say, man, look, it takes a lot of nerve for me to boycott and protest outside the country's oldest civil rights organization. That's stuff you sit and talk about before you get to that point. And so I got many examples why I call certain folks handkerchief head Negro.
That's it. Oh no, was that the whole thing? Yeah, do your mic drop. Do your mic drop. I like that.
I love that.
Yeah, and there is relevance to that because there are different. Literally, part of the conversation this weekend was talking to our young. We have people in our family who voted for Trump. We now have a family meeting started. I'm like, oh, how did that happen? And so I think that we have to start talking to our young people because it's kind of like the streets. The streets gonna get them, or some of them Republicans gonna get them. And it's funny because his wife, I think her parents are, one of the parents are maybe undocumented. We have to be careful, and you vote against your own interests, unknowingly. So, so anyways, so what did he say? Mark Hutchinson. Jessica said, folks with paper shoe brains waiting wanting a wingtip job. Oh, listen, I appreciate everybody in here tonight. Foreigner churches in Flint, we are quite sure there are many in Flint. Oh, Chris.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh,
Chris.
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 Ooh.
Say what you
I
want
like
to
it.
say.
I like it.
Oh, I get to because his comment on thing. Mark Hunter said, "I never understood why the PhD gave the presidency of the council to a 26-year-old child, and like clockwork, the child folded like a cheap lawn chair. Mays was right again. Oh,
Yeah.
y'all harsh. Can y'all
Yeah,
talk about me?
JP,
Oh, look, talk about me
you missing
behind my
one,
back.
JP.
Pass a
You missing
note or
one.
something.
I agree. She missing one.
Listen. Oh my God. So we're gonna go on to look, now my sister calling. Yeah, I gotta take this because she's calling me. I'm sorry. Hey.
Oh Lord. All right, friends. What do we have here in the chat? What's going on here in the chat? Y'all go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Producer Landon, what's going on, brother? Oh, we
I
did.
get scared answering it.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
she was like, "No, we was in the mountains and we now made it home." You know, because so that one was a good one. They had been driving through the mountains. And look, I get scared, y'all. Yeah, woo. The other one
I
was
used to live in the mountains, so
you can't get. There's no reception. You know.
that is
Then I
true.
had another call when I had to temporarily go. I will not disappoint my seniors, and not this lady would still try to beat me. Okay, the elders of the church don't play. Okay, and she didn't text me and she told me off, and I'm like, let me go take her call. I'm like, ma'am, I did not. I apologize. I have had a lot going on. So, anyways, oh, they got a lot to say. These not just one letter sentences. Y'all
My
got a
girl
lot to
Jessie's
say.
in the comments.
Oh wow,
Mark
still
Hutchins
laughing
saying,
and waiting for the access for under the bridge and in the bushes. Oh my goodness. Mark is busy. Herkenroder was a
I love his
26-year-old. The
commentary.
PhD deferred to her. Herkenroder, well, I think that was a color thing too. I think sometimes we get insecurities and we think that we're not. Well, actually, Allie did do a better job. So let's say that. So maybe Mark, she did do that right. So maybe she did.
That was an example of handkerchief Negro-ness.
Right. But Allie did do a better
Coupled
job.
with
Yeah, I
Allie
mean,
just being the
not
best.
much, but she did. You know, but it was just it's a lot of things that when we talk about that are going on. But Flint is a very hard place because there's so much background. But I do want to see this switching on. So there were people who were concerned about the water and the resolution. So let me say this because I've gotten my ward be invested. And well, technically, I get calls that are not in my ward all day, every day. I'm just gonna say this.
Yes,
And
no,
Mary
I am a
Karen Weaver,
witness.
who
I'm
keep
a
telling me
witness.
I'm her council person, she be like, and she don't bat an eye about it when she called me. Shout out to Mayor Karen Weaver. And then you know what she tells me? My husband's dental office is in your ward, so that counts. No, it don't.
It does
For
count.
everything. I don't want it, but I appreciate her get well and sending you love. But listen, I really am not the seventh world council person. Appreciate her. So listen, back to the water going up. So the rates were held off for a long time. We are going to have a water increase at some point in time. They were supposed to be done, I think, in 2018, 19, and it was not done. So you guys have heard me talk about the administrative consent order. That is the one that's about 200 pages. And then the other one is the Arcadia's water distribution optimization plan. So this is, y'all, my booklets be your girl right on everything. Because look, I read and take notes. So this is where I've been asking questions because we're required by the Arcadia's water distribution optimization plan for certain things. Underneath Mayor Karen Weaver, Her and her DPW, they actually followed this plan to make sure Flint would turn and get out, would be healthy. And so this has not been followed. And y'all, they can't answer none of the questions because they ain't did none of this. So when I'm asking about that $9.2 million meter, they don't know. There's things that they don't know that's important. We are entitled to affordable, clean water. I can't afford my water right now, y'all. Look, they keep me in court. We going back to court over some frivolous mess. That is silly. Me, Jerry Pfeiffer, and Joe King. Now y'all know ain't none of us all at the same place at the same time. So yeah. So one of the things is just to temporarily stabilize the water fund as we were going through it. And we have very thorough discussions. Some of the discussions may be over some people's head, and that's okay. So I'm here to simplify it for those who need to understand it. So as we stay, and I meant to get the video clip because we asked the questions and then things changed. I mean, Dennis asked the question. Mine was on, and so did Jerry. Jerry went for Carter. Who else was there? I think, and if Jonathan Jerry, sometimes he watches, praying for you. Send some good. I don't want everybody praying for him. Some people on here might not be right, but I'm praying for him. I mean, serious. So what we discovered during that time when Pfeiffer was talking to the CFO, he might have got in trouble for telling the truth. I'm just saying. At that time, the CFO, when he told the truth, and he said, "Well, this water stabilization fund, I think with Jerry or was it Dennis that it's new. One of them. I wasn't there, y'all, that day. So when all HE double hockey sticks broke out, I was tending to my mother. Okay.
Your mom.
My mom. And so but I was listening. And so what this fund did was they could do a lot more with it than put it towards into the water account. So what Dennis requested, this is not the same resolution, because I've had people ask me, you were given bad information, terrible information, first of all. And so what was, when you saw Mr. Moore, when I was talking, Mr. Moore I asked him the questions that I had. You can go back. I don't have to laugh, but he brought us up the new one. And so there was an amendment to it. And so the amendment, yes, we passed the amendment. It is not the same one. So this one goes directly to the water fund. Now, as I have stated, look, they already have a plan. Duh. They just ain't following it. Now, that's a different thing. And what is this state? Water optimization plan. They're not following it. So so there is a plan. And when people are listening, people have to understand. We also have the administrative consent order. There's two parts. And then you have the Arcadia's water distribution system, which states on it plan. So they're going to have to find out, the administration, how to get back to this. This is the plan that which I've been stating, they have not been following. Are we doing $6 million worth of water main replacements? What is our leak test? They said they'd get back with me. I've asked about what percentage of our water loss that are we getting through leaks? I was told it's 50%. They told me they didn't think it was that high. Technically, I was told it was like 60%, but I was told guaranteed 50%.
Wait, water leaks at 60%?
That we pay for. So if we want to reduce water loss, we need to figure out where our leaks are. So it's not everybody stealing water. Come on. It's not. Our system is old. And so
the infrastructure
is very old. Very old. They're like, oh no, is people cementing over? Okay. It ain't that much to where it's 50% of water loss. Come on. So I'm waiting on that. And so when I'm asking these questions, it is because we have a plan.
Yeah.
They've had a plan, but they're not following it. And so we did an amendment, and this is the amendment. This is the amendment. And so the amendment means they don't create a new account with the water fund, but this money goes directly so that there won't be any increase this year. So I hate when people gaslight this community. It bothers me. This budget has got so many holes in it that I'm even gonna say holes. They got tunnels.
Listen, I
Tunnels.
showed you what my
Yeah,
husband said about it.
yeah, yeah.
And he was the water man, so he was like,
Right.
"Wait, there's, I
Right.
have questions."
Right. And you asked your husband about it. So when
Yeah,
people want to know, my show is not for or podcast is not for entertainment. It is for facts. I want you to have the facts. Now we can laugh and crack jokes along the way, but when I put up and I put up documents specifically for that, I put them up so that people will know. So what you don't do is all the residents are saying, well, it's ARPA funds. And so they have a plan, they're not following. So if you want to do something, change that third ward vote. Make sure we get 5 votes so we can make sure they get back to the plans, okay?
right.
If you want to do something, help us to get a third or fifth vote. That third ward seat is pivotal. It's important. And it's so important. So we did not pass what they sent up because what they sent up was a blank check. We did not pass with the schools, with the that was a blank check because they had all of the people on there that they didn't even get to put the organizations down. They said we'll get we'll get the organizations after you give us the money. Where they do that at? Now, and so we said no. Then it's like, oh, well, you guys are clapping for schools. No, have the administration come up here prepared. My organization will be able to employ 30 kids. The next one will be 25. Have your stuff together. That's what we're saying. And so for me, I did not support it because I'm not giving them a blank check. I'm not. I supported the AAU, the basketball, and actually they should be getting more money than that because these programs used to be funded. I've also asked, we need to bring up all 3 of for the food. And I want to be clear, Pastor Thompson never asked for the food. I put up Bethel Church and St. Mark at the same time.
Yeah.
Pastor Thompson was saying to me, take it down, I'll figure it out. I don't, it's too much to go through. I said, no, if we're going to feed some people on the east side, which we should, the 2 centers, we're going to feed the people in the second ward with a second ward person, Bishop Christopher Martin's parishioner, and we're going to feed them too.
Yep.
And so my thing is to make sure, feed the hungry. Jesus fed the hungry. So how are we not feeding our community when we have the funds, but those council members, other 4, don't have the will. We have the funds, they don't have the will. And Judy's ward should be flaming mad at her because all she has to do is vote yes. I will pass all 3. I will not pass hers and let her gaslight this community while she stays loyal to insanity, which is Liddell. Her loyalty to Liddell is preventing 2 missions from being fed. 2 of them.
And her ward is suffering in its entirety. I was motion sick when Michael Clack and I believe Maurice Davis did a ward tour in the ward that she is in. And they're trying to tell us what's going on in the ward, but you can barely understand what's being said because of the potholes in the road.
Listen, we got pothole patrol.
Pothole patrol is
pothole patrol is really a thing the mayor said.
Yes, well, he needs to get on it now.
Listen, I just got an alignment. Right. And I might need another because I'm veering off again. And I'm gonna go tell them they ain't do it right. Hey, Bell Tire.
Listen, you have an SUV like I do. You may have to put that SUV in like I have like different controls. So you may have to put it in like rough terrain or something to get it to go. And now I see
like
I'm
driving on a mountainous road.
Yeah. So
the roads are bad. Yeah, they're bad. And so I think that we have issues with now we did approve equipment, which I like to ask questions. Are we going to have one crew or two crew? I will not let people keep minimizing, oh, the whole council is just, but it's not. Stop that. There are people who literally go home and labor over this who are upset. And we do not have nonprofits, okay? I've been taking the course so many times. And I'm going to tell you, when I remember watching Mays, he defended himself in court. And it was in January 2023. I think. And he defended himself against false statements when they removed him from his seat. And I remember him coming into the room where we were in, and we shut the door, the little side attorney room, and he says, he sat down on the floor because he doubted himself. He was like, how did I do? You know, what do y'all think? Well, they wouldn't let us in the room, so, you know, but listen, I was ear hustling in the hallway. You know, a Black woman is going to ear hustle. Okay.
Oh, yes, we are.
Absolutely.
We absolutely will.
You know, and with kids, you can hear through walls, okay?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so I seen what they did to him, and they continue because he questioned things. Jerry questions things. Dennis questioned things. I question things, and you get attacked. Liddell came in there just nasty. So when I got up out my seat, because when I get up out my seat, that pisses her off. Now I'm gonna get some donuts and pass some donuts out again because that pissed them off too. How dare you give people donuts?
Listen, go ahead and tell me who this donut supplier is, and let me make sure that I can eat it.
Donna Donuts now. Donna Donuts. Donna's Donuts. And so they were so mad about the donut. She said, donuts. Councilwoman Burns, why is she out her seat passing out donuts? Passing out donuts? Y'all be Liddell go on the back and eat a whole sandwich, not sandwich, okay, and 2 big gulps, okay,
like bro man from the 5th floor, okay.
Well, she's gone, so don't nobody say nothing. I love her when she ain't there. Candace is a different person when she's, including Judy. Their loyalty to them is crazy. So, fourth, where people should be upset. They could actually have those two funded if Judy stopped this stupid, ridiculous, insane loyalty to Liddell. You gonna not feed the people in your womb because you got an allegiance, you got a clique, you got a stupid law. Why would you do that mess? That's the stuff, just nonsense. So, anyways, so when they say, when people, we don't, I don't want you to get good information. So this one goes straight to relief. We have ARPA funds, but they got to have a plan. We are legislators. They are the executive branch. We are the legislative branch. We play different roles. Some of these people who out here don't understand the role. Okay, they
cutting up in the comments. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. What Chris said, I heard you said something about Liddell wig.
Okay, y'all, that was not one of them. She kept messing with me, y'all, and she just.
JP didn't help.
It looked like a Shirley Chisholm one, but it was just making me mad. And she messes with us, you know, and she always got something to say. So I literally got up to go over to talk to the city attorney. And she didn't have the docs. I had to come back to talk to JWC. The JWC had the documents. And so I'm over there and she's like, Councilman Burns, are you, because I don't want you to not be able to vote. If I'm not in my seat, y'all consider the whole diocese or diocese or podium, whatever, as long as I'm in the chambers. Why are you watching what I'm doing? It's really weird. It's really weird that she's watching everything. It's weird and obsessive.
It is
weird.
It's
you know,
weird.
I want to give you a chance. No, don't give me a chance. Don't do that. Because I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be. I'm gonna leave that alone. but she can get the business, okay? So I'm just tired of you hear them
Gutter
talk
black
on,
queen.
not a what? What they say?
Gutter black. Big bully moose, busty booty fluid.
Whatever. I call my stalker. What Carol told me. What Carol was on the phone with me one night, and Carol said, "Big back built," and then there's another word off of that. Yeah, because Carol was going in. Carol thought she was on the phone. You're trying to smoke me out. Y'all, he got the heat on hell. Look, Gutter Black, your comments and took us.
Listen, when he calls her busty booty, I lose it every single time. I cannot with Gutter Black when he start roasting people. It is always.
But they are so nasty to people. They're nasty to the resident. You get a that's your warning. Bye bye. Bye bye.
They are. It's so they get a kick out of it, and it's so jovial and how they.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do that on your way out of the door, and do this, and blah blah blah. It's a mess. It's terrible. It's terrifying.
And Judy gonna quit. Cash Kitchen, Judy gonna quit coming for me. Cash Kitchen gonna stop. I want to know how she pays. Show me where you saved up for that kitchen cash. Cash Kitchen and Liddell, I need to know that $75,000. What you did with it, and you had a revoked status, because that's how I'm coming at y'all. I'm gonna meet y'all where y'all at. Okay, that's where we at. I'm tired of the garbage. She accuses people. The fact how she goes off on Pfeiffer is ridiculous. To all these insinuations, it's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's disgusting, and I cringe when I see him. You can see him almost turning red, and I'm like, calm down, Pfeiffer, please, just don't, please. So we've watched him have his health issues because of how this just takes him down the wrong path. Because
it does. You have the wig part 810, AK Cole. He did one. And because we're gonna put it, and I do want to tell everybody. I just want to tell everybody. I did not know my mama called me.
Oh Lord!
And
Mama,
she was like, "What did you say?"
Now, hey, Shirley. Hey, I'm gonna make sure she goes to all 73 restaurants. She's gonna get your coleslaw, your mashed potatoes. She's gonna run to Popeyes to get the chicken. Then
you was on the phone with me that night.
I was, because you were mad because you had to go to Burger King, then you had to go to KFC.
First, it started off at the Chinese food restaurant. This is my mother. It started off at the Chinese food restaurant. Then it started off at Burger King. That's why I'll get you Chinese.
It started Chinese food because they were closed. Remember?
They were closed. Then I went to Burger King. Then I'm in the line, and literally Burger King on Corona Road line was like an hour and 10 minutes.
It was so long.
The person who was taking the money was also the fry cook and doing the food.
So then SpongeBob for real. Oh wow.
That part. So then she says, I don't want that. What I want is chicken from Popeyes and a biscuit from Popeyes. And then I want to have no, she wanted chicken and a biscuit, and I want coleslaw from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not doing all that today. I've been in this line an hour and 10 minutes. I said, Ma, you want a Burger King? You're getting Burger King tonight. I done been in that line all that time. Ma'am, it will be Burger King tonight. That is what you are getting. But she called. She's like, well, the caregiver didn't show up. Yeah, I know. I got, she didn't have nobody that night. And she's like, well, I haven't eaten, and my mother likes to be spoiled. I'm like, okay, but
as she should.
Go into his.
I'm going to make sure she gets your coleslaw from KFC, your biscuits from Popeyes.
But she wanted from everywhere. She can't just go to one restaurant. And then on the way, stop and get me a Coke.
Is Miss J still in the comments? Is Miss J still in the comments? Miss J, if you're still here in the comments. Now, Councilwoman Burns, let's just take a little bit of a left turn. What about this cake? We need an update on the pound cake.
That pound cake is the best of everything. Listen, I don't know if he don't come get that cake. I don't eat cake, y'all. I said, you better come get this cake. Mr. Jean, my family enjoyed that cake.
Lord have mercy, that man didn't get his cake, y'all. Can we see the cake
was
again?
good. Listen, imagine the very best thing that you could enjoy in your life, and it's that cake.
Look, that cake, that crust that's right there, that little bit of crust, that edge,
I don't even eat
that's
cake.
what I want.
I don't even eat cake. That cake is so darn good. I was like, man. And so I'm sitting in G-Land. That cake was so good.
Oh,
I was like, and I had it with coffee. And I'm like,
oh yes, that's
and it
my
is just,
husband. He
and
will
it's
eat
not
pound cake with
too.
coffee.
Look, Mr. Jean, I'm sorry. I told Arnold I did save him 3 slices because he lucky. And look, if you don't get them tomorrow,
Mr. Jean, I'm gonna put my order in before I arrive in Flint. All right.
Listen.
I will let you know before I come. I will pay, okay, and make sure I want my pound cake, sir.
It's like an $85 cake, though.
I'll take it.
It was. It was about an 85.
Stephanie
comes some Lord the Creamer. Some Lord.
That southernness. There's a lot of people who aren't from. They're from the north. They have moved down here, so we've lost some recipes now.
Oh, he's from the south, and he's a baker.
Oh yes, Mr. James. Listen, let's talk.
Girl, I put that cake in the refrigerator. You better watch it. And I didn't slice up and put some in the freezer. I ain't playing. I know how to preserve because it was real stuff. That part.
A cake taken out of the freezer.
Every Black person had a Sears and Roebuck deep freezer that you could chop a body up and throw it in there.
I still have one. It's in my garage.
We have one that you can open up the doors. I'm like, the door. I'm like, wow, that's new. Because the other, you have to go dig in the bottom. And that was the job of the kid. That part. Stephanie, that cake is not a week. That cake was in the refrigerator and then sliced up, put in the freezer. Okay? Because he said he was busy. She just, hey, you ain't getting no cake. Mr. G make another cake. You can't have no cake. And good cake lasts.
Yeah. It does. Good cake does last.
So we are going to go on to what y'all hold on. Council was a lot. Let's just say this. So with all your jokes, we're gonna play the moment that I did not really. I was just tired because I was literally trying to handle some business with the city attorney. And every time I get up out my seat, pass out donuts, talk to an attorney or talk to someone, it bothers them. She's stalking me, and she might be my stalker. Come to think about it. So
I have a different angle for who your stalker could be.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and play the video. No, it's the full thing.
He does have good coleslaw, Jasmine.
Fun. So it basically takes all the guesswork out of it when your conversation, when we had with Councilman Pfeiffer and through our other colleagues. So this will give the temporary needed relief for the water stabilization fund. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
so let me pause you, Councilwoman Burns.
This is my time.
I understand, but we have a budget meeting at 5
She's
o'clock.
so nasty.
Madam, Ms. Burns, please.
No.
So what we have to do, thank you for allowing me to do my job. The chair will entertain a motion to recess this meeting immediately after the budget meeting, or to postpone the budget hearing to after this meeting or after this resolution. So again, the chair will entertain. Don't shake your head.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Ms. Priestley.
I make a motion to go into recess until nine, I believe the budget hearing ends at 9,
Correct.
till 9 o'clock.
no.
All right, so there's a motion on the floor to go into recess until 9 o'clock. Any support? Okay, no support. The chair will entertain another motion.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Ms.
I'd
Michelle.
like to make a motion that we go into recess after we finish this discussion item to go into our budget hearing.
All right, so a motion has been made to go into the budget hearing after this budget item, supported by the councilman in the first ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jared is absent.
I want to take care of the business.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
The vote is 4 yes, 3 no.
Well, the vote is 4 yes, 3 no, so that motion failed. The chair will entertain another motion, or we will have to adjourn this meeting anyway. So it's on this body. Go ahead and speak to my, go ahead, madam. Hold on, Mr. Mitchell, let's not do
We
that.
can keep this going.
No, we
Proceed.
can't. We have a public hearing that's been published.
It's
in
a-
the newspaper.
This meeting going.
No, we cannot.
Yes, we can.
So, Madam Chair,
Madam Clerk.
Go ahead, Ms. Mashat.
because the budget was already posted to start at a certain time, it is considered a public hearing, a public meeting that we have to start. I'm asking my colleagues if we can please finish this discussion item and then go into what we posted. Because legally, we have to go into what we posted, so we can at least just finish up this discussion item. So I'd like to make a motion for us to. Madam Clerk, am I correct in that?
The council can entertain or you can make a motion to delay the start of the public hearing, the budget hearing, until after this council meeting, if that's your pleasure.
Support.
All right, I'm glad the colleagues decided to finally do that. So there's a motion on the floor. Yes, you're right. So there's a motion on the floor to postpone the budget hearings to after, is it this meeting? Or to after this meeting? All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat? Yes. Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jared is absent. Mr. Alamin?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. So we will continue with this meeting and postpone the budget meeting to after this meeting. So, Ms. Burns, you may proceed.
So, Mr. Moore, so I get this is just the transfer, but
Can't live in a condemned house. We condemn houses with no water, no electricity, and people are still living there and we don't do anything about it. Thank you.
All right, anyone else in the first round? All right, anyone else in the second round? All right, seeing that there's no one else in the second round, I'll go ahead and take my time. So Councilman in the 8th Ward and also Councilman in the 4th Ward, they make a great point. How can we get residents to pay? You know, and so it starts here. It starts here on council. So maybe council members that can assist with this effort. What will motivate you to pay your water bill? So we can make. So how can we motivate individuals to pay their water bill? If we are asking for individuals, for residents to pay, we must all be paid up here as well. So what motivates us to do this? We must be fair. Can't expect the residents to do something that we're not doing up here. And so thank you all so much for coming up with an ideal solution. Roll call, Madam, Ms. Burns, are you going to participate in the vote? I just want to be fair, to put you on the record. Are you going to participate in the Water Stability Fund vote? Okay, got it. So go ahead, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Pfeiffer,
Yes.
Mr. Alamin,
Yes.
Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Priestley,
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter, Ms.
called-
Winfrey Carter,
Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Mashat.
Yes.
Vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
Vote is 7 yes, 0 no. So that resolution passes.
Hi, I'm Brett.
And I'm Jonathan.
This is Darla.
And this is
The next resolution, which is Resolution 250100, reallocation of ARPA funds for youth jobs. Pleasure of the body.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Resolution 250100.
All right, resolution to approve 250100. Any support? Supported by the councilman in the first ward. Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Thank you, Madam Chair, through you to,
All right, anyone else like to speak on youth jobs in the first
Madam
round? Go ahead, Mr. Pfeiffer.
Yeah, whether or not she's here to speak to it or not, this resolution has not changed. So until they identify the 6 or 7 nonprofits that this is going to, and how much they're going to get paid, and how many people are going to hire, so on and so forth, still a no. Thank you.
Right, anyone else in the first round? All right, anyone else in the first round? Anyone else in the second round?
Madam Chair, yeah.
Go ahead, second round.
It's my understanding that Seamus just asked that we postpone this or leave it here. So I would like to make a amended motion and leave it in council until we can hear from Ms. Sparks-Green.
All right, there's an amended motion to leave resolution 250.
Go ahead.
You know if she's going to be available on Monday, or does she come Wednesday?
We don't know, so I'll just leave it at Monday. Because he don't know either. She don't feel good.
Can put it to Wednesday and then,
You don't know when she'll feel better.
yeah.
So just leave it here, and if she doesn't show up Monday, we move it. No, I understand, but it's committee, not council. And so I'm saying we should just leave it here, and then if she doesn't show up, then we move it back to committee.
All right, so there's a motion on the floor to to leave this, well, to put this in council, to leave this in council. Is that what I hear? Hold on. So is that what I'm hearing? So is that what I'm hearing, to leave this
In
in
council.
council? All right, so there's a motion on the floor to leave resolution 250100 in council, and it is supported by the councilman in the first ward. All right, any discussion in the first round?
No
Any
discussion.
Oh, yeah,
No
thank you.
discussion.
Thank you so much, Ms. Priestley. All right, so roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin? Yes. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
no.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat? Yes. Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Vote is 4 yes, 3 no.
So she never.
The vote is 4 yes and 3 no.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
motion to send back to finance.
Sorry, so there's a motion to send resolution 250100 back to finance. Any support? Supported by Councilman in the first ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat? Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Alamin?
Really?
The vote is
Wow.
4 yes, 3 no.
All right, the vote is 4 yes, 3 no. All right, so we are moving on to resolution 250, the 250111.1.
0.1.
This is not the first change order for the 2023 audit, though. We had another one before this.
We had a
For,
change order for the single audit.
The 2023
There was another one
audit.
besides the single audit?
The change order, it's not listed here, but there was a change order.
I can't
or
hear
actually,
you. I got speaking in my
Hold on,
ear.
please, Ms.
I've got
Burns.
people going on in my
Ms.
other
Burns,
ear.
Ms. Burns, could you please keep it down?
Excuse me, point of
Thank
order.
you. What is your point?
You don't even know if I'm talking, okay? So
I
you didn't
hear
did enough
you.
of
That's
lying
your
on
warning.
me.
That's your warning.
Well, I appeal the ruling of the chair.
That's fine.
Groundhog wig. Sick of you.
And I support that appeal.
That's fine. So Ms. Burns being brought to order for talking. While Ms. Priestley was talking, she was talking loudly and when we were asking her, she'd hold it down. She would not be brought to order. She continued to speak out. So go ahead, Ms. Burns.
It's not enough that you take to social media to lie with your bishop, but you come in these chambers and you lie also. Let me be clear to that. You don't know anything about the truth, including how to spell it, first of all.
Madam
My
Chair.
questions to her, excuse me,
She's not
this is
being-
my time.
she's
My
not-
question to
Point
her
of
at the,
order.
what I
What
was
is your
talking
point?
about. Judy, I'm not
She is not
talking.
Ms. Burns, when someone says a point of order, all talking must cease, including you.
Not being germane to the appeal.
First
Ms.
of all,
Priestley, you are correct. You're not being germane to the appeal. This specific appeal is about you speaking when Ms. Priestley asked you not to. And so go ahead.
so what I was speaking about was your groundhog wig. So I was talking about that when she overheard, and then also about the contents that I did not receive. So that is germane because that was part of the conversation. But she might want to go find things of why people dumping and all that other stuff in her ward that to be checking over here because it was a very short conversation. Very short. Very short. You know, you come here and you do this mess, you take digs, and then you wonder why you are the problem with us being a cohesive council. Your leadership has been failed. And I'm tired of it. You're disrespectful and you're dishonest.
All right, so as we move on to being germane to this appeal here, the reason why Ms. Burns received her warning, because she refused to stop talking when the chair brought her to order.
That's the type of stuff. So if you're whispering to someone and Judy, Cash Kitchen Judy, who is letting her entire community with 2 help centers not be funded because she paying cash for her kitchen. But the people who are having the problem feeding themselves, she has a loyalty to Liddell. So you can't make this stuff up.
You
So
can't.
you can't. And so because literally I'm whispering, and y'all know I leave my mic on, but she can't hear me. Judy can't. Every time anything whisper, I can't hear. Okay, take your meds and tell us how you paid for that kitchen. That's what I
Iron
want
your
her to do.
sweater, iron the shirt.
She always got something to say. And I'm not about to have it with her because Judy's a liar. She's a liar. Liddell's a liar. And they lie. They lie. And that's not a part of government. How do you let your ward Judy stay home? Judy lied and told them that camper that I never gave her the address or where it was at. Judy, you are a liar.
The address and where it was located was in the comments itself.
Thank you. The address was located in the comments itself. I didn't find the camper. I didn't take the picture of where it was dropped off at. Judy, that's your ward. While you busy trying to report stuff in my ward, and her ward need to do that. Take it off your own. Well, she didn't tell me where it was at. You are a damn lie, Judy Priestley. It's not my responsibility. I did not go see where that thing was at. It took a life of its own.
It did.
Literally, it did.
It did. And not to mention, there are greenhouses in her ward that look better than 90% of the homes. She should really be ashamed.
She should
be ashamed at what her ward appears to be like.
Well,
while
let me tell you what she told me, because people should know. She told me she didn't have time before, because Judy will talk when Liddell not there. She will talk and won't stop talking. Like, I've been waiting to talk because Liddell's not here.
Of course.
And she'll talk. So she says, I don't have time to answer the calls from my ward. I have my niece
Oh,
do it for me.
really?
I have my niece do it for me because I don't have the time. Yeah, she told me this several times. Yeah, Cash Kitchen, I'm done with you because the
You hear that,
people
fourth
need to have
ward?
people. I need to have people who understand. No matter what I'm doing, a call came through when I was doing the show, took a break, took the call in my ward because the people are important. People are tired of not having people represent them.
They are.
And so that is the part. So she told me she can't, I don't have time to take all those calls. I have
That's a
she
shame.
plays in the symphony, I believe. She shows her dog, she has her job, and then
She shows her dogs.
she has some, I
What,
believe she has show dogs.
what are her show
And
dogs? What are the breeds?
I don't remember the name of her dogs, but her dogs
Since
were
when
pretty dogs.
they are
They were
pretty
pretty dogs.
dogs?
They were pretty
Okay.
dogs. They were. I ain't gonna
Collies.
lie on.
She's
I'm just
showing
gonna, I can't remember.
Lassie. Are we okay?
Maybe she has them on her page. I'm not that into Judy because Judy decided to take the path with them, and that's disappointing because where is her conscience? Where's her I don't get it. Where's her she's letting her community, two of those help centers, two of those missions that feed people are in her ward. And because she won't approve when we say we feed the entire community, or you got a problem, Judy. Judy's not gonna do it because of Liddell. You have such an alliance with Liddell that you refuse to make sure St. Mark's get the funds. So you'll let your people starve because you are together with Groundhog. And that's
Yes,
just wrong. It's just wrong.
her allegiance to losers.
Yeah, it's just wrong.
Mhm.
And so I don't know. So we're gonna go on to the next one. And London, Landon over here, just like, so we're gonna go on to the next one. Okay, they had this form, or I think it was better put at it was a campaign ad or whatever. Or what did you call it? Because my brain is not.
Listen, at this point,
Cash Kitchen and got it, Cash Kitchen. But I just, that just annoys me. Them people need food. I rode through that ward. I had to go to Kersley today, and my route I took was through her ward. She
I
needs
told
to
you.
take care of her of feeding those folks. Two centers. Okay, but let's go on to up to the Michigan State Police, the colonel, the
Lord
mayor,
have mercy.
Bishop, no, Christopher Martin.
The political posturing of Ed, and Eddie.
That part. Yeah, and so the part
This was a mess to me. I'm sorry.
So we
I
got
watched
some
it twice.
timestamps. So one of the things Pastor Threlkeld's point was very powerful. That they want to first by silencing the people by controlling what you say. You got to fill out what you got to say on the index card. No, not good, not good. Then they were not reading what people said on the index card, and if they didn't like what you were saying on the index card, it just didn't get read. There ain't no forum. That's a political ploy to where you
Thank
got.
you.
Then when they said we have how many black men, because they referred to, we have what was it, 4 black men. How many? You had the superintendent, Kevin Jones. You had the mayor. You had Christopher Martin.
And Chief
You
Green.
had Chief Green, and you had the colonel. So 5 black men. Because they said, okay, we have 5 black men on this stage. And yet Flint has got 8. If they had black women up there, we wouldn't have all, because we're problem solvers. Problem solvers. They have 5 black men up there, and we have so many problems still in our community. This was a political ploy. Kevin Jones, I'm still waiting on you to call. I sent an email to you about them abandoned schools that need to be boarded up. I ain't heard back. I didn't send him some emails. Not cool. Not cool.
Wow.
Because
this
they're
is
problem.
political posturing at its finest.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
you know what?
And
We're
then
gonna
you
start
have
calling them out on this.
Tommy Pickles here with his navy blue socks and a blue suit, with the black. Okay.
Well, let's play the video. So we got the time. So the first one is going to be, if you fill out your card, it may not be heard or read. Clearly. They were going through, what are we censoring filtering, censoring.
So they were censoring the comments and filtering and manipulating whatever answers they wanted to give. They were prepared to give. This is political posturing at its finest. I mean, look at it. It's like almost like this is your sneak peek into the administration that you will have if you all stop arguing and focus on what's ahead. This is what it's going to look like. A police chief that's not focused on a safety plan for the community. Bishop Chris
Did y'all
Martin
hear?
and
Did y'all hear a
Staley.
plan? I didn't hear no plan. Chief Green told me he told me first thing my question was during budget hearings, and we do not vote during budget hearings. Please understand. I want people to understand during budget hearings we do not vote. We finished again our entire agenda, so it was finished. When people say oh they get nothing, now that's not true. Then it's just not true. And the mayor has really been effective of getting people to believe that it's just not true. And it's sad because Liddell Lewis is the council president, and Candace Michelle should be checking him because y'all the leadership. He is saying y'all have had failed leadership as the leaders. So he actually coming at them, and they need to check. So let's play the video. So the first one is them kind. You can go to the meeting, but if we don't like what you got to say, we ain't gonna talk about it.
Solely by Cathedral of Faith Church, who is a partner in this city with all of these gentlemen up here on the stage, and the biggest and most vocal neighbor for this Men's Community Center, as our church sits right across that field. And so I'm here tonight as the moderator to make sure that everything stays balanced and educational. Now, we have a hard stop at 7, and we're going to allow questions, prepare questions that you can write down from the audience that will be looked at, because we don't want any questions that are irrelevant or not basically in line with what these 4 men are here for today. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to give Colonel Brady, he's going to get the chance to start off first and talk about and help us be educated on what are the nuts and bolts of the partnership between the Flint Police Department and Michigan State Police, and also
they trying to control
the efficacy of why you guys control the city.
Thank you, Bishop, and thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. First of all, MSP has been.
Oh, y'all here, as Woodson said, they're trying, and thank you, Arthur Woodson, for your video, and your narrating. But Arthur Woodson, I mean, you be laughing on yours sometimes. No laughing, sir. I need your tapes to just be informative and no laughing and having a good time. So he was laughing through some of it. So right there, you hear them saying, we're going to control, look, your card, fill out your card. Okay, not cool, not cool. Anything you like to say on that shit before we go on to the next? The next one is the Pastor Thurl Kell. No, Chief Green's public safety plan. So let's go on to the next one.
When has a bishop moderated a political forum?
Oh, right, and it wasn't at his church. Exactly. Well, we know now he's the bishop who likes to lie.
Political posturing.
It looks like there are complaints about.
So are we at 10:15?
Somewhat juvenile delinquents. Can you share with us what some of your plans are right now for the summer? And then also, if you would give us your take on this partnership that has been ongoing even before you came to be the chief.
So first of all, I'll touch on the partnership between the City of Flint Police Department and the Michigan State Police. It's a partnership, number one, me personally, that I value, because as Colonel Grady has said, we can't do everything on our own. In conjunction with the secure city patrols, we have approximately 10 Michigan State troopers that are assigned to our detective bureau. The Michigan makes up the major crimes unit. They investigate most of the major crimes that occur within the city of Flint, specifically violent crime. That partnership is very important to us in order for us to be efficient and reduce this violent crime in our city. The secure patrols that the Michigan State Police provide, what they do for us, number one, they provide the City of Flint Police Department additional support And for the community, it increases the visibility of a police officer, a law enforcement officer. Citizens, law-abiding citizens that want to feel safe, they're not concerned which agency that they view at the time of an incident when they need help, as long as it's a law enforcement officer. And that's one of the valuable things that this partnership provides to me as the chief of police, the visibility, increased visibility, and the reduction of crime. Because we're in this business, we're not in this business to be reactive. We're in this business to be proactive and prevent violent crime. And this partnership has definitely been successful in that endeavor. As far as some of the initiatives that we're going to roll out, again, we have a partnership with all local, state, and federal agencies. We're going to be rolling out some initiatives to attack drag racing and reckless driving. We had one last Thursday where we partnered with the state police, District County Sheriff's Department, some other local agencies with the
Somebody tell Chief Green everything ain't drag racing. Okay. He should have talked about ghost guns, straw guns, and the gun bounties don't, grandma and grandpa bringing in their Saturday night special pistol don't count, because we know that straw guns and ghost guns, you can buy them online and put them together, and that's what they've been doing. He didn't even talk about the problem, gun violence in the city of Flint. Him and I had the conversation. We get shootings or people calling about shooting or hearing gunshots every day. Every day we hear people reporting sounds of gunshots almost every day. And so why is he talking about drag racing? Everybody ain't got no car. People here might have bus passes, but not everybody has a car. And by the way, the person who wrote the drag racing, reckless driving, who worked with the legal department, and I did work with Chief Green, which it was a problem on my street, was yours truly, Tonya Burns, because I recognized the problem and we need to have it solved. And so this was the only thing, because when they keep failing to recognize the problem. Your problem is ghost guns, straw guns, gun violence, and gangs. That's your problem. And so he's got this tactical unit that he sent. By the way, the tactical unit was sent out on the seniors at the Hansel Brings Senior Center. What a waste of time, resources. You sent out 10 cruisers, police cars out to some seniors with some flower pots and some sitting benches.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying.
It took 10. And while you all were filming, there were gunshots in the background and no one flinched.
Oh, I didn't flinch because y'all know I get used, I can tell you where it's from, how far, like which block, because it's like your ears get trained to it. Yeah. What type of gun, your ear gets trained to it. But he's talking about drag racing. Somebody go tell him he got a gang problem and a gun violence. Then he asks, why don't the youth trust us? You don't know, sir, what's really going on. When I mentioned the gangs, he told me we didn't need a specialized gang task force because the FBI got one and somebody else. Well, sir, it ain't working. It's not working. And so so when our chief of, and I'm gonna tell you, Chief Green knows a lot of answers. I've had these conversations with him. He get up there with his buddy, which they went the bunch with maybe he need somebody get him that orange patrol belt that the mayor wanted, but never got to be a patrol boy. And Chief Green was captain of the patrol boy. Give him a patrol belt and let Chief Green do his job. Look, you can get them on Amazon. They're probably like $6.99. Well, you get the little orange thing to go across. You can tell people, stop. Now you can walk. Stop running.
We have them for the safety patrol for 5th graders at the school. So I know that they're accessible.
Crossing guard. There you go. There you go. So I'm just saying. So Tonya Jones is on here. Tonya Jones has been in here and brought her son. And thank you for seeing. And usually I don't see, but you put it in all caps. I can see all caps. So Tonya Jones has been very active. She brought her handsome son there. We have opioid money, no opioid plan. Chief Green, you have an opioid problem. Opioid money, no opioid plan. They keep doing this stuff with no plans. And some of the things you have to pass, and it's not even shutting them down, basic thing. Where is the opioid plan? Until we get 5 votes. A lot of stuff like they mad right now. And that's probably why Christopher Martin, because a bishop wouldn't act that way, is mad because his write me a blank check didn't pass. It didn't pass because we don't have 5 votes. It's time we start taking care of the people and not of the other people's pockets. Take care of the residents first. Take care. And so you can't make this up. Chief Green, you got a gang problem in the opioid crisis. And y'all keep Tonya Jones, because she is fighting for her son. She had him down there yesterday. And keep her in prayer, because we have got to do it and uplift our young men and women who may not be able to find their way, because we ain't got the big mamas and the granddaddies. They be in the club now and jumping out their car twerking at the light. So keep her in your family, because she is fighting for her child and she needs help.
I understand. And I see the puzzle pieces in the multiple colors. I have a son who is also in that category. He is an awesome young man. And you are in my prayers, Tonya. Please know that you have so many women and mothers who are on your side when it comes to dealing with their sons who are dealing with autism and the support that they need. So please understand that. And that you're doing a great job.
And she is. And then they try to tell her, because she's, when Black women say I'm in pain or something hurts, you too loud, or you doing this. Girls keep screaming, I'm gonna scream with you. I saw her with her son. Look, he is in there cracking up. Oh, who legs? Oh, Lord. Y'all ain't right.
Don't do that.
No, we keep
I'm fighting for my space in heaven. Don't do that.
Me too. So
fighting
we have got to. I respect Chief Green. I'm gonna tell y'all that I do. But Chief Green knows what to do. I need him to do it. But when I saw Tonya Jones in there with her son, and I walked over to give him a hug first, and then I hugged her.
Smith behave.
Yeah, I did that. And so I went to hug her because she deserves support.
Yes.
She deserves support. We need an opioid plan.
We do,
because we get opioid money, and we get opioid money thanks to Mayor Dr. Karen Weaver, who put the city of Flint in the crisis. In for the lawsuit through friends that she knew. I believe it was through her soror and out of Atlanta. And I forget her name. But I want to say we need to thank Mayor Dr. Karen Weaver for making sure the city of Flint is receiving the money, that she had the fortitude and forethought to say we need to be in this. And Flint has we've gotten, I want to say 9 million. I'm not for sure, because every time I ask for numbers, y'all know that they get fuzzy with the numbers because Mr. Moore can't say the truth. So I'm just saying. And so Tonya's sending you and your son some love, but Chief Green, I want to hear something you're going to do to save these kids' lives. And that's what really, that was the softest little, what was that? Meeting, public meet. We got all these hard problems and issues, and they up there like some marshmallows, like everything is perfect in Flint.
Political posturing. And for him to sit up there and say, oh, well, the youth, they don't trust us for some reason. I'm pretty sure I can guess the reason, and I don't even live there. They see that the police don't respond to incidents of poor behavior within the public sphere. They understand what's happening. I hate that all too often the youth they are ignored in what their grievances are when it comes to public safety, because it's always this perception that, well, if you're the problem, then you can't be a part of the solution. No, they don't trust you for a reason.
Right. look what they doing.
Yeah.
But if it's, look, I know folks that got off on some hit and runs of some elected officials, okay? Hit and runs, okay? And high elected officials. And so when I look at this and I see they got tough problems, you would have thought they was up there having tea and crumpets or cappuccinos and little tea cakes. It was just, it was bothered. They wanted no tough questions. No tough questions. You know, when we got tough times in Flint, all of them, they said all them black men didn't want no tough. We have 5 black men up here, and they didn't want it. They couldn't handle tough questions.
They couldn't.
But we're gonna lead that into Pastor Thrill Kill is the MVP. Shout, we need one of those little air horn things. The pastor who, look, y'all, if Pastor Thrill Kill praying over the dinner, you got about a 20-minute wait.
Oh, Lord.
You gonna go to Bethlehem, Jerusalem? You gonna be at the baptism? You gonna go? You gonna experience Ramadan? I'm saying, when Pastor Thrill Kill prayed, I love me some Pastor Thrill Kill. That's what we're talking about, because that is a black man who said, I'm not going to peddle around like these are soft issues. We have hard times, hard problems. Our children are dying. We have problems in our community. We got problems with drugs, problems with gangs, problems with guns, and they don't want hard questions. And we're going to screen our questions, your questions. We're going to screen them, and then we're going to take out what we don't want in them. So let's put up, you the MVP, Pastor Thrill Kill. Let's play with what the pastor said. And he don't say reverend, the pastor. And put some respect on Pastor Thrill Kill name.
Respect on his name.
And Penny, he'll let you submit the question, and we'll look at it, and then we'll get your question answered. I want to put down, Brett Thrill. Oh, you got your hand up. Hold on, Brett. They want you to write your question down.
I understand, Bishop Martin, but I think the significance of Flint right now, with all of these distinguished gentlemen sitting fairly, that's what's wrong with this city. Because I might write something on that card, and I know you're gonna have choice to present it or not.
Right.
But it's time for us to go face to face with our questions.
Yeah.
We are tax-paying people. Taxation without representing my brothers and sisters, I'm sick and tired of it. That's what's your problem. We don't have a book. We go down the.
Was that the end of it? Did it stop it? How did it stop?
Was it taken down?
Y'all know they probably mad. Woodson knew I was playing it. Because y'all know I had an argument in the parking lot with him beforehand.
Arthur. What's it taking
So
down?
can we start it back over?
Uh-oh.
Because we need to have this heard.
Oh, you got your hand up.
Okay.
They want you to write your question down.
I understand, Bishop Martin, but I think the significance of Flint right now, with all of these distinguished gentlemen sitting fairly, that's what's wrong with this city. Because I might write something on that card, and I know you're gonna have choice to present it or not.
Right.
But it's time for us to go face to face with our questions.
Yeah.
We are tax-paying people. Taxation without representing my brothers and sisters, I'm sick and tired of it. That's what's your problem. We don't have a book. We go down.
Okay. It's just stopping it. Okay. So I don't know, but y'all get the gist. So Pastor Thrillkill is the MVP, most valuable player in Flint. He went and spoke his truth, his voice. He spoke for everybody that was in that room. Tonya Jones was in there. She says, I left the city council, went to budget meeting just for my son could see this firsthand. I had questions, but changed my mind because I seen they were on some BS. And so you have these things when people have very real issues. And
And that's the why I'm
Oh.
challenging us with these.
I won't let them do it. I won't let them do it, Jeff. And so, Chief Green, literally, I think they were having, Earl Grey tea and tea cakes because that conversation was just not what that conversation was such what's happening in Flint that we dealing with such heavy things. That was about prestige and political posturing. It was not about talking to what was serious in these conversations. It was not about what's happening on these streets. When I was now they were at the Mays Center, the one where they put the sign up and it fell down because they duct taped it.
It was duct taped to the wall.
To the building. Correct. And they didn't, I mean, I don't know why they even had that meeting.
I don't
But it
either.
was political.
I watched it twice. I still don't understand what the gist of it was outside of some sort of campaigning and, again, political posturing. There was no goal. There was no clear goal. None of it seemed aimed at a particular issue. None of it just was very vague and ambiguous in its notion. It didn't make sense.
No, it did not. And
It didn't
so
make sense.
whoever was it Mark? No, Chris Caleb said, when have you seen a bishop give a do a political press whatever, a presser or whatever?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just wrong. Now, we do know for the Mays Center at the county, and thank you, Lynn and Commissioner Del Rico Lloyd, who stated that was the absolute worst paperwork. Lynn stated it was the worst paperwork they had seen in 14 years. And that, they stated that none of the money would be used for the city state, none of the money would be used for salaries, and 100% of the money and that paperwork was for salaries. So they told a lie. So we're kind of getting a consensus here that birds of a feather flock together, and because they stated, and literally almost $500,000 was all salaries. It was all salaries. So I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you this: our problems, those are serious problems. Our problems so deep they should not be Earl Grey tea and tea cakes. It should have been some Old English 800 and some peanuts from the bar that we're gonna be here all night. The problems is that heavy. Give me some 8-ball and some peanuts from the bar. That was soft. It should have been that hard. Our problems are malt liquor hard, okay?
They come in brown liquor hard. Like, y'all are bourbon hard. Like, these are things that require people just at the table with their legs wide open. Like, what we gonna do? Like, what is happening here? It's just we're at the point where Flint needs to dig deep.
Yeah,
when it comes
very
to
deep.
motivation and
No,
what
Flint needs
what
to
it means.
get some new leadership, because if our children, 10 children were shot last year, and they're telling me one didn't count because he had been missing from the year before. 10 kids showed up in the news dead, okay?
Babies, yeah, exactly.
Flat out. One is too many. How about that? You don't want to take 9 or 10, damn it. One is too many.
One
and
is
you
way
come
too
on here
many. Yep.
talking about some drag racing. Those kids were shot, killed, gun violence, and you talking about
in their
some
bed, sleep in their homes where they're supposed to be safe.
and they're on here talking about some drag racing.
And then furthermore, I'm disgusted by the resolutions that are placed for these children to also have summer jobs to help their families and their parents. To me, tacking that onto and on top of the fact that there is no comprehensive safety plan to ensure that these babies get home safely and that they have extracurricular activities that further their learning, their literacy rates, and their education, to say that, oh, well, they can help pay the bills. Are we freaking serious?
Yeah, Liddell Lewis keeps saying they can get summer jobs to help take care of the house. So that is not a child's responsibility.
That's not a child's
I'm sorry. Look here, baby. You go get that check so you can get the muffler fixed. Look here, baby. Go get that check so you can buy them $900 worth of groceries. Look
That
here,
new
baby.
phone
Mama
you
need
want,
I need a new sofa and a love seat.
Yes. I'm worried about you trying to pay the bills. My job as a parent is to cultivate you, to bring you up to be a productive citizen of this world, not for you to pick up where I have left off. So no, it's ridiculous that she would even, after knowing what has happened with children in Flint, Michigan, without a comprehensive safety plan, and watching what happened on October 14th, where you had younger people who decided that they were going to this direction, or whatever you want to call it, whatever the reasons are, that's whatever. However, we cannot allow our young people to feel like they have carte blanche options to go forth and do what they want to do without any form of guidance. And to think that it's okay, well, we're just going to shut them off with summer jobs and this and the other. My summer job when I was 16, and it was me being a camp counselor at a summer camp that was sanctioned, that was a situation that was brought up by the city of Memphis and their park commission or whatever. But still, I don't care what you do with that money. I don't want you paying bills.
Never paid a bill.
No.
My first job was at Kentucky Fried Chicken, the one that everybody run into on Dort Highway. The one, about 3-4 cars and totaled the building. I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's when they used to sell beer and like coolers. And I had my little boyfriend ran it. Look, y'all, he stole some coolers. A thing of coolers. I had to report it. My boss was like, "What are you doing?" And so he don't live. He had a whole new family now. Mama, I told you that boy wasn't right, And literally, the manager there, Doug wore a whole bottle of Old Spice. So Old Spice and chicken grease was just horrible. But that money was my own. Minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. $3.35 an hour. And I worked at the KFC that they run into all the time. So listen, I want to move on to what he should be concerned about, which is when we had a conspiracy to incite a riot, and nothing has been done. Can we play that video? Because that's when they took over council chambers, which is in City Hall. And Chief Green, what was you doing? He has not had one person arrested, not one warrant issued. He's still looking at camera footage, and come on. You can look at it from at home. Not one person. Chief Green, do your damn job. You are focused on all the wrong things. He is literally on all the wrong things. And I'm not giving him passes anymore because you always look for hope. You look for hope. But no, I'm still looking. That's been thoroughly investigated. Then what? You got pictures. You got witnesses. What else do you need?
Right.
What else do you need? Somebody's ass needs to be arrested.
Yes.
Simple as that. So let's play because he didn't have control over this. Can we play that video?
You're too old. Yeah, you're too old.
But they asked me, what would it take to get me a yes vote? I hear that. I hear.
Whoa. Hold up. Let's pause the time. Okay, we can't have the audience yelling out. Okay, we can't have the audience yelling out. Everybody just remain calm. All right, finish. Go ahead, Dennis. Can we please stop yelling out?
And let's stop selling lies to the public. We have 30 days to fill that seat, and the clock is ticking the day after someone passes away. So we don't have all day to figure this out. We must, as my colleague in the 3rd Ward always said, and when you said that he's just a puppet with a hand up his ass, when you made that comment towards him, we're just trying to get done the business of this city.
All right, so this is what's going to happen, because I've asked several times. And so as I'm identifying people that are yelling out, you're going to get your warnings.
Oh, okay. So in the back corner.
Pardon me,
in the back corner.
Point, officer.
In the back corner.
Now see, this is what I was saying. Y'all letting this stuff slide, and somebody gonna get hurt up in here. Somebody gonna get hurt. Y'all letting this slide.
Council will remain at ease.
You're too old. Yeah, you're too old.
You was on Facebook talking shit too about my uncle. So you be quiet. You gotta tell everybody to stop and be equal. Don't pick sides. That's all I'm saying. Don't pick sides. Tell everybody to chill. Everybody is grown as hell. Y'all acting like big ass kids. That's all I'm saying. Everybody needs to chill. So say everybody, not just us.
It's not. She done cussed everybody out. Everybody got a gun. Somebody got a gun. Somebody got a gun. Somebody up in here with a gun, they say. They say somebody in here with a gun. And we got one police officer. Any other time, they had 10, 12 police officers.
Look, Chief Green had all the video footage, and it's more than that. His videos and cameras in the hallway. He ain't solved that crime. So what is the confidence level that I'm gonna feel that he gonna solve anything else? I got a whole person call me and Jerry and Beverly every day. He ain't solved that. So what is my confidence level in him solving crime? That's how many shootings he had on his street. I need him. I mean, he ain't doing it. And so, I mean, it is the very and it's not funny anymore for me, because that was October the 14th was serious. It was serious. And he ain't put a warrant out. Nobody got to pay a penalty. He's too close to the people here, which makes him ineffective.
Correct.
It makes him ineffective. When you know such and such and such and such child, I got a damn problem with you, Chief Green. October 14 was over 6 months ago. You got all kind of footage, zero excuses. Send the shit over to the FBI at this point.
At this point, because
Send it over to them.
clearly
Because if you
whatever they're
can't
doing is
fix it,
ineffective.
give it to somebody who has the will to do it. It's the same as we have opioid money, but we don't have the administration don't have a will for a plan. It's the same thing as Judy Priestley having. She can get those two funded for food, but she don't have the will to defy Liddell to feed her ward for those two. Lacking the will because they got clicks. She know they should have had their asses. A warrant should have been. He knew it. So let's play the other one because look, you cannot threaten an elected official. You're supposed to be number one. Warrant arrested. You can face up to, I forget the penalties. He ain't did his damn job. Let's play the video if you got that one.
What y'all think Liddell don't think? Man, Liddell no happy as hell. But happy about what? But they happy we went up. They happy went up, but they wanted us to talk. Yeah. They wanted me to talk. Liddell don't want me to talk. What they wanted you to say? Whatever I was gonna say. They ain't want me to say nothing. They wanted me to say They knew I was coming for her. They knew I was going for her. And they knew I was going for Tonya. I wanted to continue. The other bitch that was yeah, we shut it down. All the police. Ain't gonna look. One of the dudes in the chair was gonna look, and we was.
Very classy. Chief Green couldn't get an arrest on that. He couldn't get an arrest on that, or he's choosing not to. At this point, my request is to have it taken to the Michigan State Police or to be taken over to the FBI. I'm not going to play anymore. I don't play with your life. I don't do that. But you seem to keep playing with elected officials' lives. And he's got little crass jokes that aren't funny at all. They're not funny. Not funny. He needs to do his job. When you don't do your job and you allow this to happen, Chief Green, in City Hall or in your city, which actually your job is more important than the mayor's. It happened underneath your watch. Underneath your watch. You have no control. 6 months with conspiracy to incite a riot, and you haven't done a damn thing. It's inexcusable. Well, it's been thoroughly investigated. By who? Stevie Wonder, because he couldn't see the camera footage? By whom was it seen by? And so when we get these types of things where he has not done his job, I'm not giving you a pass, but you also set up and said, we don't have a gang problem. Sir, you have a gang problem. You have no gang plan, no plan for that. You don't have a comprehensive public safety plan. I'll write one for you because I already got one written because it seems to be you need help.
Clearly.
And it's pissing me off because it is not only the residents whose lives are at stake, it is the elected officials.
Yep.
It is the
because
same
he's not
thing.
doing enough to keep you all safe. There was, if I recall correctly, right after that, you, Pfeiffer, and JWC requested a comprehensive safety plan that would be sufficient enough for you all to return to council chambers and feel
He won't follow that now. I literally, he made a joke about it when I told him, because I still have a stalker. And he said, well, if you needed a ride, then I guess I should get a ride. That's like me asking for a ride. Really? This is what you're doing? Now, I don't want to shoot nobody. I don't want nobody shooting at me. I'm asking you with your little bogus plan, do your damn job or quit. Quit.
Right there.
I mean, at this
any
point,
other city would not allow him to move forward.
Oh, you got 10 kids and you get on there with Earl Grey tea and tea cakes and talk about everything but gun violence. He talked about a reckless driving. You have a gun violence problem. Okay? Right. All them little charges, a lot of them been repossessed by the people when they was using them little scams and stuff. You need a comprehensive public safety plan with the gang. Well, I've got a gang. Okay, you sent your whole little special units at the senior center with people with park benches and flower pots as gun shelters in the back. So come on. So You cannot make this stuff up. So last thing we're gonna cover for tonight. So someone sent this post to me, and I think it's on social media. I do not live in the third ward, but it was mailed to third ward people. And so the good bishop made a post about it. He put it up. So it says the tax against me. This is Bishop Christopher Martin put this up on his page. Now, to me, if you are appalled by it, why would you put it up? You know, why would you put up to advertise the mailer that you were appalled about? Come on. If you were so appalled, I think he must have liked it because he shared it on his page.
The jokes write themselves.
Right. So he says the attacks against me doesn't matter. I'm speaking up. Here we go again. A third ward resident was appalled when this came in the mail. How does this address policies such as affordable housing, water rates, lower crime, or economic development, or minorities? All this does is breed division, defamation of our mayor in Flint. Flint residents deserve so much better. Well, the Kojic Church deserves so much better, which you was a lying bishop. All that lying he did was just ridiculous. First of all, he don't even live in Flint. He live in Grand Blanc. And so the issues that we face here, there is churches in Flint. It's not church. And when he go home, the police gonna show up. Let's see what Grand Blanc's response time is. It's gotta be better than some of our, I don't know. We going after seniors moving flower pots and park benches they bought. You know, and so he puts this card. I can't read the card. What is it?
The two faces, one city. Choose wisely. From City Hall to the circus. Make the third ward serious again. We support Beverly Biggs Levy. Paid for by Jedediah Brown in INA.
Jedediah, they gonna get you.
I love it. I love it because they cosplay as this whole the caption alone is them cosplaying is the whole respectability politics, and oh, this is so egregious and we're so embarrassed. But then they turn around and they rob the residents by pen and paper.
Why would he share this on his page? I mean, just saying,
policy,
why would Bishop Martin put this on his? I think it was kind of like, I got to deal with the mayor, but I'm going to embarrass him on the other hand. When you got the mayor hugging a clown, but they're too nicely dressed. They're both nicely dressed. Very, what'd you say? Very tailored?
No, they both have on a tailored suit. They both, two clowns with a tailored suit on.
Very demure.
Very demure.
Yeah. And so why would he put this up to you not heard? So you looking, so basically what this thing is saying is two clowns. I think, is that what it's saying? That the mayor is a clown, or he's hugging a clown?
Well, the Joker may have been around before Mayor Sheldon. So I guess Sheldon is looking up to the Joker in his shenanigans and how
the Joker, okay.
You know, so clearly, because the Joker is one who was very smart. However, Sheldon Neely, not so much. So
what made them hug him now? What? They got the mayor hugging the Joker or the clown.
A mess.
Serious.
A mess. Both in two clowns in a tailored suit.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't. Okay, the bishop, you kind of hurt the mayor with putting that up. If you his friend,
he really did.
I wouldn't have. You know, if you don't like that, because now people who don't live in the third ward will see it. So now people who don't live in the third ward will see it. Because
and not only that, I feel like because how does this address policies such as affordable housing, water rates, low crime, et cetera? Well, it doesn't. However,
well,
it
let's see
will
who
lead
does
those who
lowering the
read
crime
it
rate.
to question whether or not the mayor has done so in his own tenure that he is currently completed. You
Well,
are
that part.
outing the
Can you
mayor
leave that
in
up?
what he has not done.
Say it
I don't
again. What he
understand
did what?
that he has not done. These are things that he has not completed. That's not Jedediah's job. That's not the
No.
person who's running for the position. That's not their job. The mayor should have
Lowering
already
crime is
fulfilled
Chief
it.
Green's job. Chief Green, I need you to solve October 14th and let me be proud of you. Okay?
Yes.
How about
Yes.
that? Find
Yes.
out who I've had to stalk my stalker. This ridiculous, the big back. I can't say the other words because I'm on air. And but why would you put this up? Jedediah. They gonna get you.
This was beautiful. This was beautiful. Jedediah did a great job. I appreciate INA for doing this. This was beautiful.
So what do you think the symbolism with they got the mayor hugging the clown? What do y'all think in the Christine Lee says he's hugging himself?
He is. He's hugging a reflection of himself. But I feel like he's also hugging a reflection of someone who's smarter than him. Because let's be honest, Sheldon Neely is not smart. He's just smarter than many of the residents who fall for his shenanigans and his bullshit. Because what's happening here, we know for those of you who do follow the Joker story, it actually makes sense. Sheldon Neely's story does not make sense. So let's be honest here. He is hugging his inspiration and the false narrative that he believes that the Joker set forth. I'm telling you now, Joaquin Phoenix is somewhere very disappointed.
Well, I am. I wouldn't have put that up. Christopher Martin should. That was a bad move to put that up on his page because you're showing it's not an instant because the mayor. People want to know. He put up what the mayor should have did. The mayor had 5 votes to do all of that. He's had 5 votes. So Christopher Martin, why hasn't the mayor lowered water rates with 5 votes? Christopher Martin, why hasn't the mayor made sure we have affordable housing? And his wife is a state rep. Christopher Martin, why hasn't the mayor made sure we got more economic development for minorities? I mean, Christopher Martin, why doesn't this deal with the policies? I mean, come on. He had 5 votes. So Christopher Martin, you're saying when putting this up, 5 votes, why hasn't Mayor Neely gotten it done? Why hasn't he? It's like the president look what Trump doing. Trump he passing everything. Why?
He has the support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so to put that up, it didn't even cross his mind. There's no reason why these things shouldn't be done. And Mayor Neely, you need to call to tell him you don't want the picture with you in a finely dressed tuxedo and jacket and the Joker's hair matching your jacket. You don't want him to be showing people that. But in Jedediah, they're gonna get you.
This was beautifully done by INA and his
Jed
team.
show.
I am in love.
And I'm gonna go back and listen to it. So I guess he was going in.
He did, and it was a beautiful cat. Today was glorious. It was wonderful. It was full of substance. It was full of all the things that need to be. There is a backside to this that we're not going to go into that conveys the message very clearly that people are fed up and tired of a mayor who continuously oppresses the residents that voted him in. And they are just tired of the BS that Sheldon Neely co-signs and his cohorts. So this was beautifully displayed by INA. I'm here for all of that. And they just pulled it. They pulled the ultimate. Here's a taste of your own medicine, but in your face. Because again, Bishop Martin and Sheldon Neely, they will go behind your back and they will pull these respectability politics images out in front of everyone, but then turn around and rob the residents by pen and paper. This was a clear and concise display of an F you. F you. Like, we see what you're doing, we see how you're playing this game, and we choose not to participate. I love it. I love everything about it.
Well, since 2019, Mayor, thank you. Leave it up big like that. He has had 5 votes. And with those 5 votes, he has not gotten it done. And you have 5 votes. So that he's trying to put that on council. No, Christopher Martin, the Lion Bishop, you could have, what you needed to lied on me. I orchestrated. I would have been a dance I could do as I told y'all. I wouldn't have had that line dance. I can't do that one. And I would have had at a place where we could have a good time, But as we were waiting on, y'all heard the roll call, the council members, the 4 he's infatuated with, were not there for roll call. I played the official record. So to see this and him to put that, I wouldn't have put this up on my page. I wouldn't have given Jedediah Brown, if you dislike him, any free advertising. And Bishop Martin gave him free advertising on his page, paid for by Jedediah Brown, And so when we, but they are some the mayor got a yellow tie on? They matching.
They are matching. They are matching. And here's the thing: when Jack is on, when he is
whose hands are those?
What?
Did you say that?
I did. Listen, I'm not about to break it down all the way because I know when Jack is focused on the goal, like he's been kind of thrown off his typical. He's usually very focused and very laser focused. And when he's thrown off a little bit, it can go either way. But on this, he was dead on, and I love it.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch this thing, but Bishop Martin, no, Christopher Martin, because I'm not going to embarrass the Kojic Church, the Church of God in Christ, with a bishop who consistently tell lies. I'm not going to do that. But for him to put this on his page, I had not seen it until they sent it to me because somebody at Kojic, Church of God in Christ, they seen it on his page.
To you. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, he's supporting this. I'm like, what in the world? Why would you put that on there?
As someone who doesn't live in the 3rd ward, and as someone who has already blatantly lied on the elected officials who represent, just too much.
Well, this one was, we need like a move. What is it? A wonk wonk move. Not a good idea to put this up there. But Jedediah loves it. Jedediah's clapping it up. He like, yeah, he put it up. He showed it to all his friends. Jedediah is thrilled to pieces. So anyways, wait, look, y'all, we getting off here. So anything you want to close with, let me say thanks. Y'all, if y'all can tip our producer, it is running down at the bottom of the scroll. What? So all funds go to 100%. Y'all know y'all not getting Tonya cut up with no cash app. 100% of the funds goes to Urban News Station Flint and producer Cash App. $ Hendrix Studios, which is located downtown, is a Black business entrepreneur that is located in the lovely downtown. So you can donate to producer. Yeah. You can Cash App $ Hendrix Studios. It'd be greatly appreciated. We could not do this without him. Why you take it down? You gotta work with him on this, okay?
Yes,
Listen, you doing the work. Look,
you do amazing.
Yeah, we gotta come and summarize stuff up for folks, give them the right information. I got to tell them what Mr. Moore was trying to say because Mr. Moore just get a little nervous. So look, donate to $ Hendrix Studios. Cash App $Hendrix Studios. I appreciate you. Landon, anything you want to say, and then Sheena.
Gonna say no, I'm good.
You
Yep,
good?
yep,
We
we all
good.
good. Don't
He
forget
got a
to
family.
donate to Hendrix Studios. And
Say that again. Donate to
I say don't forget to donate to $Hendrix Studios. And if you are in the market for any shows or podcasts, don't forget Urban News Station Flint.
But we need to be having an advertisement, then we can run through and stuff. So listen, if you're looking to do a podcast, they're growing this platform. You can all go back and say it.
Urban News Station Flint.
Y'all like that voice?
We got 2 studios in Flint. So there we go.
Say it again.
2 studios in
So
Flint.
what do you do?
Well, me, myself, I do photography and videography at Hendrix Studios. And then me and Mayor Weaver partner in Urban News Station, where we do podcast production. We have audio production in the back. And we go around and film and do different stuff. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it. So Landon
We'll
will
be
be on the
punching
road.
pearls this Thursday.
We getting there. Yep. We having we getting some things together behind the scenes. But yep,
Okay,
we're gonna have a comeback.
Okay, like mind my business. Okay, I'm sorry.
So listen. One of the things we'll be doing is I need a person to be on the road with me, but still tune into Tonya Burns on the Tonya Burns Show on YouTube on Saturdays at 10 o'clock. So Hendrix Studios, my on the road, I need an on the road person. It's a lot going on. And I'm kind of fun to be with, I think, y'all.
Here, I was going to put this disclaimer up before we left earlier, before we got out of here, but conversation got a little serious. So if you don't mind, Sheena, could you read this disclaimer for me, if you don't mind?
Oh.
It's going to be right at the bottom. You ready?
I'm ready.
Or actually, I'll read it.
Educational purposes only. The views of Tonya Burns and friends do not reflect the views of Urban News Station, even though we may most likely agree. Like, we really just might agree. Because sometimes y'all be acting up. Okay? Let's make it clear. Y'all be acting up. But for legal purposes, this is for educational purposes only.
She read it so nice. She read it so nice.
Thank you.
So the views of the Tonya Burns Show are the views of Tonya Burns, okay? So because I did call out the lying bishop who lied, and I put up the receipts to it. So I'm not thinking about him. And the person over need to check him for not this Blake. I orchestrated. I ain't did no bust. Anyways, Sheena, anything you want to say?
No, I am so thankful to be here, and I'm so glad and thankful for those who are Flint residents who do accept me and my opinions for what they are, and who have graced my inbox with their own thoughts and opinions, and who have been so welcoming and so heartfelt in their gratitude and opinions. I'm just thankful that the community has embraced me.
Well, and I appreciate you sharing this time with me today. We were both considered to not do it, but I'm glad that we did, because there's a lot going on, and we need to make sure we don't sleep on what happens during the week. So to each and every one of you, may you have a blessed rest of the week until we see you again on next Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 8:00 p.m. You can join me this Saturday at 10:00 p.m. on the Tonya Burns Show on YouTube and Facebook. But Sheena will be with me every Tuesday, 8:00 p.m. on the Urban News Network with Mayor Dr. Karen Weaver. So we got some
producer
going
Landon Hendrix.
Oh, and your intro is like, I don't know, can I say dope?
It is dope. His exit is dope. Like I love it.
It's dope.
It's dope. You gotta get it.
Let's do it. See y'all. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, yeah, tropics, I wanna fly to the tropics. I wanna go to a place so remote. Niggas thought I went ghost, they don't know where to find me. I'm finna hop on a boat and take my black ass to the coast to go get a taco. Crazy as hell, think it's a joke. Then I'm sending shells if it's carne asada. Baby, no problem. Shit, gotta tell my shit, cause nobody do it for me. I'm about to flood my wrist. I'ma hit you in the morning. I'm about to board my trip. Eyes too red, what you said? With the pilot blowing zips, smoking on, tropics, I wanna fly to the tropics, fly to the, tropics, I wanna fly to the tropics. I wanna go to a place so remote. Niggas thought I went ghost, they don't know where to find me.